The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
20.
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, July 29th, 2024. This program starts now. We hope you had an absolutely amazing weekend watching sports that we know little to nothing about, but certainly becoming experts of quickly in cheering on the Americans, beating that ass to the total of the most medals in the Olympics already. Now, China has more gold medals than us. And
sure.
Australia might as well. And there's certainly been a couple races in the pool that we have lost to Australians, and they celebrated in our faces. But the get-back time is still around the corner, and the Americans have the most amount of medals. You're welcome, world.
Let's go.
These sports we never heard, fencing, are women first and second place.
No big deal.
Was there any other country competing? I don't think so. How about the beach volleyball? Have you seen the team that we got there? It's a new generation. It's a new era. Same old dominance. Right there in front of Gerville Eiffel's tower.
Yep.
That's over 1,000 feet tall, and they got that thing lit up. Our beach volleyball teams are absolutely crushing. One of them, former NBA player.
Yeah.
Chase Budinger.
Yeah.
Dog. Guy was a National Volleyball Player of the Year as a high schooler. Also in the McDonald's All-American game. Then he would go on to play 7 NBA seasons. Now he's back on the beach playing beach volleyball against the rest of the world, about to win it, dapping up the boys. The Olympics are a beautiful thing. Have you seen any of the gymnastics?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Simone Biles is doing moves that only she has ever done.
Yeah.
Okay, with a hurt calf. We hope she's okay. The whole team is all the way back. The dudes, now we did have somebody from Montana kind of have a moment where it wasn't his absolute best feat of strength and everything like that. He'll bounce back 4 years from now, which leads me to this. We need to enjoy the hell out of these games. We need to enjoy the hell out of these sports. These athletes work their entire lives so that they can maybe compete once every 4 years. And you're getting a chance to witness, like handball is back.
Yeah.
Once again, in a different dimension where America doesn't have other sports. If we were to play handball, we would beat everybody's ass. Think about goalie in blue right there, facing off against Paul Skeets from that far away. Just think about that. Now, people are going to say, well, you need cardiovascular. I'm saying, yeah, we need a year. We need to train. We need full focus on handball. The sport is electrifying. It is an awesome game that we get to watch every 4 years. And there's people overseas in these countries that play handball. They're like, American exceptionalists. Look at that team. We beat your ass. You need to have more respect for us. Okay, you're saying we need more respect for handball? You need to have a little bit more respect for that lineup right there. We didn't even put the NBA guys in there.
No.
Didn't even put NBA guys onto this particular team just because we want to go to arms. We don't know what wide receivers or running backs or safeties or corners who have incredibly strong arms, but they'd be able to dribble, shimmy, shake, dive, boom, top ched, goal. It is a great sport. I love the Olympics. Absolutely love the Olympics. Which leads me to this. There's a lot of people saying they're not going to watch the Olympics.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people.
Because of the opening ceremony. Now, I learned a lot about a man named Thomas Jolly, okay, over the weekend. I think we all did. And the one thing that I did not read or see is that he cares at all about sports. So I think that's the biggest thing. Like, we need people that love sports being a part of sports happenings. Whenever sports litigation is happening in government, like trying to change the future of sports completely, we need sports people around. Whenever we have the biggest platform for sports and competition happening once every 4 years, we need some sports people at least there to say, hey, this is a celebration. I understand the history of France had to be told. However, it was told, you do what you got to do. But you got a bruised Statue of Liberty in there. I don't know much about the history of France. I know there's one particular day on a beach that took place that led to a lot of things, so I didn't respect and appreciate that. But there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, what Thomas Jolly put together was incredibly disrespectful. And I think that is certainly a way to view things. That is a way to take it. And there is a lot of people who have said that, and for good reason. And I have no idea how any of these things are the start of the Olympics or to announce that the Olympics are taking place. It was a form of artistic expression that was paying trip, whatever. We just want it to revolve around sport, and we can't have the opening ceremony be a reason why people won't watch these athletes who have sacrificed everything about their lives to be great at something and only get to experience and celebrate once every 4 years. And there's something called the Olympic truce that took place, I think, way back.
Yeah.
Way back.
770.
And it's been like kind of broken a few times where wars stopped because of the Olympics. But, you know, it can't have the opening ceremony starting a war, starting a protest. Mm-hmm. So I hope the next time around we go ahead and think about that, how sports are and we can't have things that aren't a part of it be the reason why people won't watch it, because when you watch it, it's magic. In the pool, when they start swimming, they're doing I feel like I'm watching the Kentucky Derby, but just wait. There's another one coming in about 10 minutes. Right. Some more people swimming faster than you've ever seen. So I love the Olympic time. Don't love all the drama that was certainly self-created by the Olympics or whatever, but I love that we're getting to watch the greats be great at sports we know nothing about. We can be obnoxious, ignorant, and arrogant about it, and that is how we will continue through the rest of these games. The Toxic Table is here. At Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Love acting like we know anything about any of these sports.
Oh, yeah. I had a badminton net in my backyard growing up, so I'm watching badminton basically kind of taking me back to the nostalgia of my childhood. But those sports, judo, I mean, I had no idea how electrifying judo was. All I think of with those gis are kind of like Dwight Freeney, guys that heal people. All of a sudden, you're watching them get, hip toss left and right, scoring points. And then equestrian. I watched way too much equestrian for me to even be calling it equestrian. I know there's a much more specific name for the things that they were doing, but they were going in and out of water. Some of the courses they had set up were electric. I mean, it really is awesome to watch all these sports because you said it. Like, these people aren't on a national stage except for 2 weeks every 4 years. So it is cool to see. And, I mean, the table tennis was unbelievable. Some of the shots that those guys...
We got a guy named Ja.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Ja's a dog. Mm-hmm. Ja was suspended for a bit because Ja refused to take any of their tests. I'm not your puppet. He missed 3 straight tests. They suspend him. Now, the reason why you get suspended for 3 missed tests is because they assume you missed the test because, you see...
Trying to get clean.
You don't want to take it. Uh-huh. So they did not report that. They did not say that. They just said he mistested. This guy might go off the grid. Sue him. Maybe he just plays table tennis every single day of his life. Whatever the case, dog. This guy's an absolute stud.
Duke.
The table tennis, 9-year NFL vet, is a sport that a lot of people in America play. Okay? It's something that's pretty easy to set up. It's not very expensive. Normally, like one person will have it. You go ahead and gather there. You meet, you play. In football, it is very commonplace in locker rooms, I assume, in other sports as well. Some of these other countries are just like
a little more advanced.
Conscious.
Yeah, they're pretty good
At table tennis.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of noticed whenever I was watching it. The spins that they're putting on these balls are a real deal. But our guy might be able to take a run at this.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, we're rooting for him, pulling for him. I don't know his odds, but probably not looking
great.
Yeah, not great.
For now.
He was good. Hey, we're talking.
Oh, yeah.
We're high.
I had eyes on him. There is I want to say he's 16, 17, a young fellow from Chinese Taipei, was facing some Iranian lad yesterday. This guy is the best table tennis player in the world, bar none. I mean, just every single forehand, hitting it about 1,000 miles an hour. His spin, this guy's unbelievable. I don't know what his name is.
I don't want to just say this in a negative way. Seemingly everybody in this Olympics that plays table tennis.
They're unbelievable. They should all win gold medals.
I wish they could all win.
I know.
But once again, as we were talking earlier, once every 4 years, get an opportunity to do your thing and be recognized at a global stage. I don't love that people not watching because of something that happened by somebody that's not a part of the game.
Yep.
Is
not a part of sport.
Yeah.
Is that real? Like the people not watching?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people pissed off.
The numbers are. I know people
real.
are pissed off. I mean, it pissed me. I don't get pissed off by much. I'm like, come on, what the? What is this?
No, just a lot. We get it. I think there was a lot of just like we get it. Okay, we get it. And if we're just going to go from strictly like how good of a presentation it was, the boats were kind of crop.
They were
The boats were kind of crop.
Little crop.
Yeah.
So like Thomas Jolly, if we're going to look at the art of it all, boats kind of crop. There was one particular country that was on a tiny little boat.
almost capsized.
Yeah,
Should have.
and obviously the rain is its own thing, and that's an added element.
boat,
Our boat was sweet.
Our boat was sick.
Our boat was sweet.
Yeah.
So we do appreciate the opportunity to have this particular boat represent because, I mean, the ladies and lads just understood the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, they're getting rained on right here.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting rained on.
Heavy.
And obviously George Washington with the flag alongside Coco Gauff was very memeable immediately. As soon as we all saw it, everybody's like, yep, that's going forever.
See, yep.
That's going to be the way that is. But then, it just felt like there was a real unity, a real spirit. And I felt like our entire country needed it.
Yeah.
Legitimately. Felt like our entire country needed it. You know what else we needed?
What's that?
And they showed up. Our men's basketball team to beat that ass.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
And they did, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
There was two guys that didn't play.
Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, glue guy, Tyrese Halliburton, there for the vibes, keep the team together. He'll have his moment. And Jason Tatum, he's Boston Celtics. Do you remember him?
Yeah, he's pretty good, actually.
Three first team
Straight. Yeah, coming into the Olympics.
4 total straight, 3 first team straight. Yep.
He couldn't find time in a rotation. Derek White recently added to the team.
He played a lot.
Yeah.
Very important.
15 minutes.
Drew Holiday, a lot.
More than half the game.
Got a lot of shot. Need him, obviously, in there. So Steve Kerr just doesn't respect the tape. And what is this? How should we view this for the future of the Boston Celtics?
I mean,
the future of the Boston Celtics as a whole.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what stick Steve Kerr's got up his ass. Personally, I thought Ty Lue should have been the head coach of Team USA. I think a lot of
Spo was there as well.
Spo also probably should have been the head coach. And, the best part of it was the internet, of course. I mean, some of the things that people were saying about Tatum were, unwarranted but hilarious. A lot of past Bama water. Yeah. Hey,
is that it?
Hey, Tatum, why don't you grab the trash underneath LeBron's seat and throw it out? It was asinine. I don't know. Yeah, of course. Yeah, there were a bunch, but it's nuts. Granted, when Kevin Durant's coming off the bench going 8 of 8, like, fine. You don't have to put Tatum in. We're up 20. Can we get the guys some burn? Can he just get a couple jumpers up? I don't know. Maybe Steve Kerr after the game, he said, I felt like an idiot not being able to put him in the game. Well, then put him in the game, you asshat. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, but then it got too late in the game. It was too big of a blowout. He'd been sitting down for too long. Can't put him in.
That'd be more disrespectful.
Boom. Yeah, like Tyrese, I was thinking about Halliburton. I'm like, okay, they're up 20 now towards the end. And then they started talking about point differential and how important it is going forward and how Serbia's going to try till the end. And I'm like, well, you can't put Halliburton in now because he's been sitting for 45 minutes to an hour, hasn't done anything. So you put him in first game. He pulled, there is and then how about the people that have to close out the game?
Yes.
These are, you're in garbage time.
Yep.
Yeah, joining us now is a man who maybe has a little bit better feel on the temperature of the men's basketball team. Obviously, he's been on the road since the beginning of the NBA season. Ladies and gentlemen, front of the program, Omaha citizen, Ohio guy, Brian Windhorst.
Yeah, Windy!
Bonjour, mon ami.
Hey, bonjour, ça va?
I'm lost now. I don't know. I got 3 words back.
Tu es très fatigué, I believe is, how's it been?
I did not know you were such an educated man. It's over my head. You lost me.
Je m'appelle Pat. I took French a couple times. A shout out to Mademoiselle. I don't remember. Anyways, let's move along. Mademoiselle, she was great. She was absolutely great. Wendy, okay, you heard us just talk right there. It is the conversation. Even though the team blew out Serbia, which is a very difficult team. I believe that team, those itches are good.
Yeah.
Hey, those itches can ball.
Oh, yeah.
They were trying to play a little physical, trying to play a little different. I think Joker was disagreeing with his coach a couple times. Joker was like, let's not do the full court press because they have more skill and more talent than us. They'll just drive around and we'll get penalties. And then I believe the coach said, this is our only option. Okay, this is our only option. He looks a little bit more rugged. The beard's a little bit more full. We appreciate that, but we get a win. Let's talk about Tatum, though, because this is obviously Connor's a Celtics fan. fan. Is he handling it okay? I hope he is. Halliburton seems to be cool, no problem. Obviously, much different conversation and how long greatness has happened for both of those guys. But Tatum's the convo here. How does he feel, and what is the vibes like over there?
Well, I don't know how he really feels, but it seems like he's doing okay. They told him before the game he wasn't going to play probably. It wasn't like Steve Kerr didn't decide until the middle of the game. They figured out that they were going to do this in the before their pregame planning. And look, I'm not going to defend it. I'm just going to tell you what they were thinking, okay? Serbia is basically a team of big men and guards. In Serbia, they don't have wing players like they do with other countries, like we do, okay? So Steve Kerr wanted to play 3 centers on Jokic. He wanted to play Joel Embiid, Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis. That was the plan. Those 3 guys are going to play. Then you got 2 NBA-level guards, Bogdan Bogdanovic and Vasily Micic. They got another guy, Abramovich, who's really good. So they wanted to have 3 guards to play. They wanted to have Ant Edwards, Drew Holiday, and Derek White. So that's the game plan. And the game plan worked.
Yeah, it did.
Holiday was awesome.
Okay.
Derek Rose, plus 15. 2 steals and a block in his minutes out there. Was great in his minutes. Ant Edwards, very strong. 11 points. Kevin Durant is the wing that they use off the bench. And he had one of the greatest games in U.S. basketball history. So, look, I understand that it's hard to fathom. I also am going to tell you that there's going to be other all-star players who get benched.
This is good news, right?
This
Wendy,
run.
this is good news.
It was a tremendous day. It was the best game. I will tell you, it was the most impressive performance for USA basketball in the last 2 Olympics.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Because the last Olympics,
hell yeah, boys!
They got through on the skin of their teeth. LeBron was awesome. Durant was awesome. Drew Holiday was awesome. The game plan worked. I get that if you're a Tatum fan, you're pissed off. I get if you say you don't take a first-team All-NBA player and do that to him. But I'm telling you, I understand why they did this way. When they played the South Sudan on Wednesday, South Sudan's got a bunch of athletic wing players. Tatum's going to be out there. They're going to be switching all those screens because he's got to play the perimeter, and there may be a guy like Bam Adebayo that gets benched in that game. Listen, Devin Booker yesterday had 12 points and 5 assists, and he's probably going to get benched because Durant's going to go in the starting lineup. That's the nature of Team USA. I get it, but it's a real luxury to be talking today about why didn't Jason Tatum play as opposed to why did USA get beat by Serbia.
Amen. And I'm very thankful that Tatum bought in. No problems. Yep. All good. Tyrese Halliburton seemingly the same exact way. We're trying to win for our country here. Country beat Serbia's country's ass. And that is a beautiful thing. You talk about best performance that the U.S. team has had in a few years, and then you bring up Kevin Durant. It's like, that was historic to watch him do his thing. And then LeBron, how fast he's playing at this age and how much he seemingly cares about it all. It's almost like he's not even a human at this standpoint. You know?
Yeah,
it's almost
like that.
He's 40 plus years old, still doing the exact same thing he's been doing for 20 years somehow, and caring more than he's ever cared, seemingly, or at the peak. It's like these 2 guys are now the dudes, right? And this is how this is going to go. We all understand that. Team USA understands that. And with Serbia, like the best team we're going to face for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I think Serbia could beat the U.S. under the right circumstances. So
we won by 26, Bob. Get out of France and start to change the way you think about our country, bro. Jeez.
I know, man. I actually saw that line. The line, I think, opened at 16.5, and I was like, no, man. I think it closed at 13.5. I do not think Serbia is 13 points worse than the U.S. Obviously, the U.S. pounded them. They pounded them twice now. They pounded them in Abu Dhabi 2 weeks ago. They pounded them yesterday. It's an indication of how strong this team is. This team is awesome. But here's the thing: the U.S. was 17 of 30 on threes, which is just amazing. Devin Booker was awesome, hitting threes early in the game. Obviously, Durant couldn't miss. LeBron was hitting shots. Steph hit a couple of threes. 17 of 30 is not the way the U.S. is going to shoot every game. So the way they got that shooting performance in the game they needed. And Durant, guys, he told us after the game he hadn't played 5-on-5 full court since the end of the season. The Suns got eliminated in late April. It's been 3 months since he played. He's coming off the bench. He steps right into the Olympic fire. There's 27,000 fans there. LeBron and Steph admitted that before the game, they were nervous playing in the Olympics with 27,000 fans, this giant stadium. And Durant comes in and just starts dropping daggers. It was unbelievable to watch. You know who it's fun to watch? Just NBC should have a camera on Ant Edwards all the time, because Ant is like all of us. He is having, like, he thinks he's the best player, and that's just who he is. But like, he is having so much fun watching LeBron, watching Durant is his idol.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, he wants to like beat him head to head. He wants to dunk on him. He wants to talk trash. But listening to Ant Edwards talking about watching Kevin Durant do this, like, I kind of think like that's how the American fans should be taking it all in, just in awe and be impressed. And I mean, I just thought it was such an incredible performance. And Serbia brought their game. They were playing really, really well. Like, they were slowing the game down.
They were
forcing turnovers. And then Durant walked in the game and lowered the boom, and that was it.
Yeah, and also, AD, there was a couple things that happened in the starting lineup everybody's talking about. There was one man's name who chose to be the United States center, basically. His name was trending, but he's going to get better. He got back. He started making some stuff. Yeah. Everybody is going to do their thing. You talk about Ant Edwards. He's so fun to watch on the court, but the videos of him off the court, to your point, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
He could beat the table tennis team.
Yep, that's what he said. Yep.
And I'm getting reports, I don't know if you're hearing the same thing, where, like, I guess there's some other sports where he is certain he'd be a gold medalist after, like, watching these sports. And from what I'm being told is it's not like a ha-ha, this is a bit.
Shoot.
Our society needs people like that.
Yeah.
So I am happy that he exists and that they still exist. And I also love the way this team is seemingly, you talked about Ant Edwards and just like idolizing. They're coming together, it looks like. We got a team. Yeah. We got a gold medal coming.
Come on.
Let's do this thing.
Yeah, and listen, we got to plan for the future too. Like, this is about winning the gold medal now, but part of this is winning the gold medal in 28, and that's why Ant is here. That's why Halliburton is here. That's why Jason Tatum is here. I know that Tatum get a big role in Tokyo last time around. He could still have a big role here. Those guys are going to be the lead dogs, because right now the two best players in the game yesterday were Durant and LeBron. They're not going to be around for LA. Wow. Maybe Durant will try to hang on. So that's going to be what Tyrese is here learning, getting ready for LA. By 28, Tatum might be the best player. Ant might be the best player. So that's also going on. And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've covered the NBA for 22 years. I've been covering LeBron since he was 14. I covered Durant when he was a rookie.
On the court.
Yeah. The opportunity to be around this team, like, they had record crowds in Vegas, record crowds in Abu Dhabi, record crowds in London. They're going to break the all-time attendance record from the Olympics here I'm in Lille, France right now. It's like traveling around with the Rolling Stones in their prime.
That's awesome. Dream team again.
Yeah.
This is an awesome experience for everybody involved.
Well, I'm happy you're there doing it. Are you riding backwards right now? Is that we're sitting?
I'm riding backwards. I got my man Pierrick is my driver. He goes like 175 kilometers an hour. Okay. We go back and forth between Lille and Paris. It's supposed to take 3 hours. It takes like 90 minutes. All this guy does is fly past cars.
Pierre's Georgia.
He's got some special sticker that the cops won't pull us over. Don't ask any questions about it. Don't tell anybody about it.
Oui.
But that's how we roll. The train got firebombed. Okay, so I got a ride that's
by who?
Excuse me?
Was that part of the
fireball?
They're still investigating. They're still investigating.
What?
So I got a nuclear driver here, and he's taking me all around France.
Okay, I love that. I love what you did there. Tied it together. Yeah. Very serious situation, it sounds like. Don't love whenever you go underground there in Paris. A pretty big moment in the history of the world that happened in one of those overpasses. Wendy, we need you for a long.
I actually went through that one today.
Okay.
Wendy, tell Pierre we need the.
Come on.
We need to keep that thing straight down there. Yep. Need to keep that straight down there. Have you been enjoying Paris?
Yeah, I mean, the city is alive right now. It's a lot of work for us. I mean, especially going back and forth between between Lille and Paris. It's kind of crazy that they're playing. It's like 150 kilometers between Lille and Paris, and like the USA is going back and forth. They're staying in Paris. They want their players to enjoy Paris. Today was a full off day. I was at the team hotel this morning. All the players were leaving to go to events. That's what the USA Basketball wanted. They wanted all their players to be with the other American athletes, to be going. When you watch the games tonight, you'll see the U.S. players out there. I don't know, and I think Nadal was playing Federer, and Nadal was playing Djokovic. Some people were going to that. Some people were going to the volleyball. Some people were going to the swimming. So they all wanted to be out in Paris with the other athletes, which USA Basketball made possible. But that means we got to go back and forth. And right now, I'm headed back to Lille because I want to see the 7-time defending gold medal champion USA women play Japan. And I'm going to go see them and cover their game tonight because they deserve as much attention as everybody else.
Thank you, Wendy.
And I love covering the women. I love watching Breonna Stewart and A'ja Wilson and Diana Taurasi play. It's a privilege to watch them. So it's a tremendous experience to be over here in France right now. I haven't been able to have any time to enjoy much of Paris, but we're going to keep sending back great coverage because we know the fans at home are super interested.
Hell yeah,
Football
Wendy.
season hasn't started yet, so we gotta keep sending it back.
Wendy, we're loving the Olympics, and the men's basketball team, obviously being the Rolling Stones there. Yesterday, massive reaction back home whenever they win because of how poor they kind of looked in the preseason games and how close the games were. Then he flipped the switch. The boys are back. It started out with 12-2, I think. Serbia was up, too.
Oh, yeah.
We were very worried at the beginning it was going to go the other way. And I even started that. I'm like, oh, no, this is not good.
We got the guys.
And I forgot. I completely forgot. They have people that are like our people.
Yeah.
Oh, remember Austin Rivers said he's like Steph Curry for another team. It's like we got Steph Curry.
real one.
Like we have the actual Steph Curry. So I like how much the game is growing globally. Obviously, it's good for sports. It's good for the NBA. But I think this team obviously going over sounds like similar as when the Dream Team was going around spreading the sport. That means it's only going to get tougher in the future. That means it's only going to get tougher in the future, it feels like.
Yeah, and look, I'm telling you, this is the best Olympic tournament there's ever been. And if the U.S. wins every game lopsidedly, it'll be because of great play, not because of the competition. The competition is for real. The U.S. is going to face some challenges here, I promise you. But I thought Serbia had a shot against the U.S. yesterday because the U.S. wasn't playing real well. They came out flat. Serbia was playing their game, and then it was awesome to watch what LeBron and KD did. That play, you should go find that play right before halftime.
Oh, yeah.
Where LeBron inbounded the ball. It was like, when you see the baseline angle, it was like Mahomes hitting Kelsey. It was this laser beam across the lane. He threw him open. Durant wasn't even open. He caught the ball, turns around, hits that shot. Durant falls into the bench to go 7-7. They drew up that play on the sideline. Like, that's Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer drawn up by a Hall of Fame coach in front of 30,000 fans. And, I mean, come on, these are awesome moments. We can analyze and criticize these guys with their teams. And, if they struggle, we'll be all over them. But we got to also appreciate this moment of LeBron and KD still doing it on this stage.
Agreed. We completely agree. Can't wait to watch it. And the oop to Ant, he even said I got to throw that higher.
Yeah.
I apologize. I got to throw that a little bit higher. And it's like, as it's all taking place, it's like an all-star game, but seemingly all buying in.
They actually care.
Yeah.
Trying.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is wild to see.
So there are some teams here that are really, Germany is really good. Canada is loaded.
Okay.
We're going to see some tougher games, I believe.
I bet.
But
Did you see Micic last night?
That prick.
And Bogdanovic, that prick shoulder tackled. Kevin Durant took it in stride,
man.
coming off an injury, goes the other side. Joker's on that team. Maya Stupovic was in there.
He's a good player.
No chance.
No chance.
No chance.
Ibrahimovic.
He was out there.
Soccer player.
He was playing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All the Bogdans.
They were playing the best.
These guys don't. There's a bunch of Nicolas out there. All the Nicolas were facing up against this.
Bingo. That's a good team.
Listen,
they can ball.
If they play again, these teams kind of don't like each other. LeBron tackled that guy. Parashev.
Embiid.
Yeah, they don't like him.
There was also a moment where LeBron was staring in a guy's face and looked like he was trying to like intimidate this guy. And I'm like, I fucking love this.
Yeah.
Like, I love that LeBron is taking it this serious right now, that they're up like 10, I think, at the point. And then later, the guy on the ground where LeBron's doing his thing, that's the guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, that was all on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Like, LeBron was obviously cooking all of that. In this shot, I mean, we're covering up his body, which is basically the entire shot, but this picture is like one of the most legendary things of all time. Can't wait to watch the rest of the run. And then the ladies play against Japan today at 3 o'clock.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, this is a rematch of the Olympic final from 3 years ago in Tokyo. Our women's team is one of the most dominant teams in all of sport. The Japanese are amazing to watch. They play like perfect
clinical
basketball. Like
Cerebral.
they move the ball, they cut.
No chance.
But they don't have anybody to deal with Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner laid the smackdown on them in Tokyo 3 years ago. So it's going to be fun to watch that game. It's fun to watch the Japanese, but the women are awesome. A'ja Wilson is like at the top of her game. I love watching the way Stewie plays for the national team. Jewel Lloyd, like Chelsea. Like it's so much fun to watch them. They're an awesome.
He's tired, for Christ's sakes.
Sabrina Ionescu. Yep, I watched her the other day in London, so I'm going to watch them now.
Keep doing it, Wendy. We've been told whenever we said, can we get Wendy on the program because he's in France, they sent us over his schedule and what it's been. That's why I asked him if he's been having fun in Paris. This guy's been having no fun. This guy has been having. We appreciate you, though, Wendy. We appreciate the hell out of it.
All right, guys. Enjoy your week. I'll talk to you soon.
Take a nap, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Windhorst.
Hey,
That's awesome.
It has been terrible.
So tired.
dead.
He's just been in a car. He's just been driving back and forth in a car.
Well, yeah, the U.S. basketball team obviously made that happen for them, and we're all very happy. Now we got to drive 150 kilometers, which I guess is 90 miles.
Okay. Because
Tell
Pierre's
us the
driving.
miles, man.
Yeah.
Tell us the miles per hour.
Yeah, I'm sick of it. I'm watching the Olympics, and they're doing kilometers per hour for people, and
the
then
pool.
meters per second. It's like, come on.
That's what Peacock should do. They should do an alternate broadcast just with all miles per hour.
So I do wonder, like, do they do it for the entire world? Is that why they're doing it?
Yeah,
Probably.
just were you the assholes, right? In this situation?
We definitely are in that particular case because the way we decided to go away from it is certainly a decision that was made. Certainly.
Yeah.
That was certainly a decision that was made at some point. When I assume, geez Louise, I'm getting choked up even thinking about it. But when you make that decision to just be like, nah, we're going to be different than the entire world, then whenever we're competing against the rest of the world, we need at least, understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I got no idea. Gumpy was sitting shotgun one day we were driving. He had something on his Google Maps, and it was speaking out loud, and it said, like, in 13 kilometers, turn right or whatever. And I'm like, what? How far
Is that 4 hours?
Is that like next turn? Is that how are we? What are we talking about? I have no idea what it is. I guess we should because 100 meters, right, is about 110 yards. I think that's what it is.
Give or take.
100 meters in the pool is down back.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
Yeah.
So I think whenever they go meters per second, I try to equate it like, okay, so how many of these should it take for the entire race? But in my head, I'm like, this would be much more impressive if you told me just feet per second right
or
here.
miles per hour.
Because then I could compare it to a fish. And I'm like, Caleb Dressel, this guy's faster than a damn great white shark in New Hampshire.
Yes.
Or up in
whale.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
No, I think there's a shark that just attacked the boat too up in Massachusetts.
Come on. What's in the water?
I don't know when the video is from, but it was posted as if it was recent.
Right.
Great white shark nibbling on boat in Boston or up in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I believe it. We got a problem. They're overpopulated up there.
Well, and the whales are down there in New Hampshire.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a live for your
You guys got a sharks or minnows situation happening in the waters outside, and they're starting to turn on humans.
Well, those whales, you kind of learned here. They're gossiping. They're talking to each other. They're kind of grouping up, trying to attack boats. Now, I don't know where this started. Maybe they're just revved up for the Olympics. And they're like, hey, we want in on this action. How do we get involved?
Maybe they knew what was coming with the opening ceremonies.
Yeah,
and they just weren't happy about it.
I could see. Yeah, live free or die. Like in New Hampshire. I'm sure
Gaga was there. Gaga,
really?
Lady Gaga was there.
Yeah, I saw Grande. I didn't see Gaga.
Gaga performed on steps. Like, yo, this is Lady Gaga. Can we get a,
Put her on top of the Eiffel Tower.
Can we get? Yeah.
I mean, she's no Celine Dion.
Whoa.
Relax.
Easy.
Celine.
Butch.
Let's keep her there.
Celine's got a real talent. These things here are pretty good.
Yeah.
Love Dion.
Love Celine.
Just saying.
But Gaga, you got to give her at least an opportunity.
It's Gaga.
You got to give Gaga an opportunity.
Yeah.
You got to do
Star
something.
is Born.
Yeah, they had her on piano, but it wasn't really like. Let's give her. She's on some cement stairs on the side of the fucking Seine. Like, come on, can we give her?
What are we doing?
Can we get Gaga a little something? Can we give her a little sauce so she could do? They did that entire head off thing.
Yep.
Fire.
That was crazy.
Okay.
That was cool.
Okay.
That was something.
Listen, I don't know what we're trying to get. I don't know what part of history this was. It's crazy. Is this current? Is this what are we? This is a wild time. Hope everybody survives. Hope everybody. You give Gaga running up off. Oh my God.
I think Gaga actually said, like, hey, putting the nutsack on TV wasn't cool. So they were like, all right, well, we were going to put you on a base up at the top of the Eiffel Tower, but now you're going to have to smell the poop in the Seine. Sorry.
So you think she was very anti a thing that everybody on Earth seemingly anti, but somehow on the biggest stage on Earth, it just sneaks in.
Slipped through the cracks.
Yeah.
And I don't know how.
Yeah, of course.
It is interesting. There was just so many things about it where you're like, we get it, you know?
Yeah.
Like so many.
I didn't see it at first either because the little child was blocking it in the beginning.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Like the worst thing ever is a part of this entire thing. And then also you have, I don't know, can't have it. Can't have the opening ceremony be the reason why people decide not to watch these athletes who, once again, bust their ass to get to this point. Think about this basketball team. Now, granted, they get an opportunity with the NBA and they're all very wealthy, but think about how they're acting towards it and treating this. This is the Olympics are a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful event. It is a celebration of competition. It is a celebration of athletes. It is a celebration of sports. It is a celebration of everything. And can't have people decide not to watch it just because, Mr. Jolly decides to just offend everybody. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, from Hammer, Dahn is now officially a published author.
That's right.
Wow.
Let's go.
That's right. Right now, you go to store.patmcafeeshow.com. A need-to-know gambler's guide for the 2024-2025 college football season is here from a man who is not only a good gambler,
Good gambler.
Great gambler.
good researcher, logistical stud, a man who spent hours and hours in piecing it together. Ladies and gentlemen, Tone Day.
What's up, brothers?
Tone, congratulations. I think we have there we go, a graphic for this. Congratulations, buddy. You're actually a published author right now. This is available at store.patmcafeeshow.com. Is right at the top of the website. All proceeds will be donated whenever we find out. We have no idea how many of these will move. We have no clue what's possible.
6 or 7.
But maybe
100.
Maybe we have no idea. Million.
Yeah.
Billion.
Right.
Maybe a billion people.
One of the above.
Maybe it could be absolutely anything. We have no clue. We've never done this before, which is also why it's going out through store.patmcafeeshow.com and not any other platform. That's much easier for people to kind of get shit from. And also on the phone, not great. Should do it on a computer. But nonetheless, the process is out there. We'll donate the money. Tell them we appreciate you doing that, buddy.
Thank you, brother. No, I appreciate you. You were like, hey, Tone, like I see all these magazines when they come out or whatever. You should do one of those. And I am a very low confidence human being. I looked at Ty and Connor. I said, there is no chance that I am capable of doing that. But hey, you believed in me, and it got done. And I think it's pretty good. I mean, there's a breakdown of all the teams, and there's some graphics on who I think is going to make the playoffs, win each conference, Heisman, everything like that. It's quick. It's easy. It's a nice little, it's 90 pages, like 25,000 words. No big deal. I don't know if that's good or not, but I am a published author.
Yep.
I chose to use my own name as well, not a pen name. I'm pumped for it.
Wow.
All right.
Anthony.
Well, I think what it means is also, we don't need to take any shots at, stage name things.
Sure.
Should have gone with Tony Hemingway.
Would have been sweet. Nobody would have known.
Yeah.
We could have created a new character.
Oh, God.
Instead of the hat, just put on one of those hair things.
Yes.
Yeah, it would
Have
be.
a quill.
Yeah, it would be great. A feather. Oh,
Yeah,
my
some
God.
some fake glasses.
No, one.
Monocle.
Yeah.
Monocle,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That would have
the
been great.
like the peanut guy.
But Tone, I think what this means indicates we are very, very close to college football season. In that breakaway, in that takedown, you have Heisman hopefuls and everything. What's big storyline that we should be looking at going into the college football season? And how are you mentally on who's going to win this entire thing?
I have 4 teams that I think are going to win it, that I think are capable of winning it based on players that are coming back, coaching, everything like that. 2 of them are in the Big Ten. They were in that tier on Thursday when we did the Big Ten tiers. 2 of them are in the SEC. The other conferences, I don't think you need to worry about a national champion, to be honest, in the ACC and Big 12.
Oh,
they're not
West
playing.
Virginia, brother.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
like
don't have to
Garrett
worry
Green's going to
about
run
it.
wild, and they could. But no, the national championship will become from the SEC or the Big Ten this year. If Georgia can get things correct.
Hey, it's been too quiet in Clemson.
Uh-huh.
It's only been like dogging of Clemson.
Well, yeah, we
No
saw
transfer portal, and then the recruiting video.
Very quiet.
But nobody's really talking about Clemson. Very quiet in Clemson right now.
Yeah.
They got clubs still.
I don't know how I feel about it. I genuinely don't know how I feel about it. Because, like, did Dabo just forget?
Nah.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You see him on
Florida
TikTok,
State.
you forget.
Like, what do we, if
just
we're
not-
talking about teams.
Just
Florida
not
State's all
evolved
if you
enough?
believe in DJU or not.
Uyunglele?
Yeah.
How could you not?
Yeah, he's been around, played a lot of ball.
A lot of ball.
Huge.
Guys played a lot of ball. Do you remember the rainstorm he played in last year?
Washington?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been there, done that, and he's going back to the conference he started at. All right, Tone, we can't wait to catch up with more about college ball, but as we're talking about college football, I can't help but talk about NFL training camps that are currently taking place
Come on.
around this here United States of America. And the thing about training camp times is we're getting clips, we're getting storylines, and we decided, we have to take a trip to all these different places and kind of get an update on what the hell is going on. Let's kind of take a look. How are we going to get from one training camp to the next? Well, a train, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to hop on the training camp train. First stop, Kansas City. The reigning, defending, undisputed back-to-back champions are off to a hot start. Travis Kelce showed up with a mustache and has all looking at being the greatest of all time. Speaking of greatest of all time, fastest of all time, Xavier Worthy at the Combine somehow ended up with the Chiefs. Him and Patrick Mahomes are moving along swimmingly in Kansas City. Let's hop back on the train, shall we? Next stop, New York, New Jersey for the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, the man who had a torn Achilles last year, had a new procedure, was going to come back. They punted on the ear. Dahn to Breece Hall on the sideline. He's moving, he's throwing, and they are cooking. So much so that they're going to have some disagreements every once in a while. Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, heated argument is how it was described, but nah, they dap each other up. Moments later, connection. When you see this corner in safety, you do this. Got it. We move along. The Jets are a real contender. Back on the train, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Miami with Tua Tagovailoa. Okay, they get Tua's deal done. He is now a repaid quarterback. We'll talk about that. Let's hop back on the train. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to Houston. Stephon Diggs, new signing for the Texans out of the Buffalo Bills. No gloves. Let's make practice harder than the game. One-handed snag. Him and C.J. Stroud should be lethal. Speaking of lethal, how about the Houston Texans defense? Nobody's talking about it. Well, Dalton Schultz, that's on your ass. Cheap shot from Stingley. It's been contentious. It's been hot in Houston. And the offense and defense have been battling. Love everything about it. I think they're going to get sick of fighting. Maybe it'll stop. Let's go to the highest paid quarterback in history, Jordan Love.
Wow.
As a simple man
Never doubt.
with 220 M's now being added to his bank account. Shout out to David Mulligetta. And shout out to Jordan Love stepping on the field, picking up right where he left off last season with a dime to
Malik Heath.
Obviously, Green Bay's got their guy. Let's go to Buffalo, New York. Upstate New York. Well, you lose Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, what are you going to do? They draft a freak out of Florida State and Keon Coleman. It looks to be a smooth transition from one wide receiver to the other. Nobody's really talking about the Buffalo Bills this year. Nobody's talking about the Buffalo Bills.
Kincaid.
Seems like vibes are high, and Kincaid entering his second year out of the Utah Utes. Let's go to the dog pound. Cleveland. Deshaun Watson in the back completing a pass. But the story here is they got Jameis Winston and they got Mike Vrabel both on this team. And they race every time they Riverside in practice. Vibes are high. Vrabel's brain's just floating around in Cleveland. What is that all
Looks
about?
good.
Let's hop back on train. Very smooth running for an older man. Let's go to New England. Drake May, is he the one? Yeah. Completion to booty. Down the sideline is Drake May, the guy we shall see. Let's go to in L.A. Jim Harbaugh's first training camp with the Chargers is obviously hilarious and awesome. Justin Herbert wearing gold jersey connects with Lad McConkey. They're saying this lad is great, and they're saying this team is going to be tough for the first time in Herbert's entire career. Harbaugh's flipping tires.
Wow.
New machine.
Yeah, it is a sweet tire flipping machine. Need better handle on it, he
Yeah.
says. Let's go to Chicago. Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Caleb Williams' bullshit might be transitioning perfectly into the NFL. That is what the film is indicating in Chicago. Let's go Detroit.
What you gonna do when the Detroit Lions in Campbell Mania runs wild on you, brother? What you gonna do?
That's really the only news out of Detroit, which is a good thing.
Hell yeah.
Let's go to Pittsburgh. No news, right? Well, big news. Justin Fields is bowling.
Whoa.
Right now at training camp. How come?
Push thing and just got a little tweaked it a little bit. So, we're just working hard and just sometimes things happen. But the good news is that I feel good, and we'll get there in time. The good thing is I'm getting a lot of the mental reps and throwing stuff on the side.
Russell Wilson working too hard. Tweaks his calf before practice even starts. Is this a Wally Pipp situation before it even gets started?
Whoa.
Joey Burrow in Cincinnati. New hair. Great punch stroke. Look for a quick kick from Joey. Down there in the 11. Can this guy throw? He hurt his wrist, remember? Yeah, he can still drop dimes. Trenton Irwin down the sideline. Cincinnati seems to be in a great place. Let's go to Carolina, shall we, on the train? Xavier Legette out of South Carolina with Bryce Young's working out. Who is this guy?
Appreciate you for taking the interview. Who I'm talking to? Xavier Legette, Mullins, South Carolina native.
Okay, all right. He's from northern South Carolina, obviously.
It might have been Mullins.
Oh, okay, Mullins, potentially. Not sure. We love him. We absolutely love him. Train stops in Indianapolis. What do we see? Anthony Richardson throwing dimes to Josh Downs. We absolutely love it. How about the new wide receiver, A.D. Mitchell? He's catching everything, they're saying.
Damn.
He's catching everything. We need you, A.D. We need you here in Indianapolis. Let's hop back on the train. Let's go to the Hard Knocks offseason team, the New York Giants. Is this guy worth $40 million? Get rid of Saquon. Let's find out. Well, let's draft neighbors and make that connection potentially all season long.
Okay.
Whoa. Let's go to Oakland.
I'm here.
What did he just say?
What was that? I'm a what?
I think he's... That doesn't seem like a good idea. Let's go to Dallas and Oxnard.
But when you look up, all the great quarterbacks I watched played for other teams. So my point in saying that is that's not something to fear. That may be a reality for me one day, may not be my decision. So that's the freedom that I have is be where your feet are, make the most of it, be confident in yourself, make your team better. I love my teammates. I love that locker room. I love everything about being out here in Oxnard and being a Dallas Cowboy. So,
yeah, I'm okay being a free agent. The training camp train rolls on, and so do we. Boys, love hopping on that train.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, just bouncing around. We missed a couple teams where we've seen some clips, obviously. Which stop did you enjoy the most, Ty Schmidt?
Probably the last one there, Dallas. Beautiful, Oxnard, California. I mean, what better way to get out of the heat in Dallas than to go to the heat in California? I think that's beautiful. Kind of crazy, though, because like you look at, obviously last year, everyone was talking about how good Dallas was. They get in the playoffs. A lot of people saying, hey, is this the team that can finally kind of, break the seal and at least go to an NFC championship, win a Super Bowl? Obviously, they get embarrassed by the Packers in the playoffs. But Jerry has been saying all offseason, hey, listen, we're all in. They understand kind of the time is now, especially with McCarthy potentially being on his last year. Dak, obviously you hear that. If you're a Cowboys fan, that's got to be like, whoa, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
lame duck quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. But then you also...
leverage.
Yeah, a lot of leverage, for sure. You look at the CD situation, though. Like, is that going to get done? That's still a big deal. And then in terms of just who they lost, like they lost Tyron Smith. They lost Tyler Biotish, so like two stalwarts on their offensive line. Got rid of Leighton Vander Esch, who kind of had always been hurt, so that I guess that's kind of a who knows. But then also Michael Gallup, who was their number 2, get rid of him, and then he goes to the Raiders and just kind of retires out of nowhere. Really, in terms of like who they brought in, they got Tyler Guyton in the draft, who you assume he's probably they'll plug and play him on the offensive line somewhere, but they brought Zeke back, and that's kind of like their big splash. And then Michael Kendricks, or was it Michael Kendricks, or was it was Eric Kendricks, excuse me. So they bring him in, and then obviously Mike Zimmer's the new DC. So it seems like we always talk about the Cowboys going into camp in the season, and obviously the expectations are what they are, but this team almost feels like it's not as good as the team was last year.
Oh, no!
And
it's Mike McCarthy's last year on his contract.
Potentially, but then you just look, like their 3 best players all want new contracts, and so it's like, it's kind of, if the Cowboys don't make it to an NFC championship or like go to a Super Bowl this year, like
there's a chance that the Cowboys of next year look much, much differently than what they look like right now.
Wild time for the Dallas Cowboys. And this is Jerry Jones, kind of talking publicly after the court case with DirecTV or the lawsuit for the entire Sunday ticket thing. And in this from Clarence Hill, and this is great reporting. We appreciate the hell out of it. Shout out to Florio for tipping us off to this entire thing at Pro Football Talk. Look at what Jerry Jones says after the testimony in the Sunday ticket. That's exactly what I'm really trying to tell everybody is, frankly, I've got a better feel than other people because I have a sense of what revenues might be for the whole league, Jones said. And so that if you see me optimistic, then you must know that I think it's pretty good. If you see me a little cautious, you must know that I'm being cautious. I'm the best at looking around corners as far as body language and instincts. I'm better than anybody. Ooh. So are you being optimistic or cautious with Cowboys contracts? As Deion Sanders said, both. Jerry Jones replied. All right, well, one thing's not like the other, okay? Because this answer right here that he gives in this paragraph about having a sense of what the future looks like is vastly different than the both situation down there with optimistic being one of the options. It's like he has been one of the head media guys in the league for a long time. Because the Dallas Cowboys are on primetime all the time, people didn't know, actually, are you doing that so that you keep Jerry happy because Jerry's part of the media? Or are they doing that because the Dallas Cowboys fan base is so big? I think one thing kind of goes with the next, and Jerry has been able to operate and negotiate media deals in a fantastic fashion for the NFL. But him basically saying to the rest of the NFL, I have no idea what revenues are going to be. $14 billion is currently being asked of us in a litigation, in a lawsuit over the Sunday ticket shit. So he's wondering if salary cap's going to end up going back down from this entire thing. How would that even be possible with the way media is going? But that is kind of what he's indicating. He's like, so I'm going to wait and see how this entire thing goes. And he's like, I know more than anybody. That's wild to think about because Jerry has been a part of the information committee for a long time. And him just saying that out loud is like, everybody, all these big deals that are coming out, like, better hold the fucking horses. Yeah. We have no idea where this thing's headed going. That's basically what he said there and implied.
For sure. So then if you couple that with, I think it was at practice, a couple people were asking him about the Dak contract and just like, where's kind of the disconnect? Why aren't we hearing anything about this? Like, are you going to be able to match the number that he wants? And Jerry just very quickly, yes, I believe we will. But again, it all depends on how we do. Like, he kind of just, it's like he doesn't know what to say. He doesn't want to say the wrong thing. He obviously knows Dak has leverage in this situation, so he doesn't want to give anything away. But you can't assume that if the Cowboys do exactly what they did last year, they go to the playoffs and everyone's talking about how this could be the team to kind of break the seal, and then they flame out in the first round. Like, there's no way that Jerry's going to give him $60 million plus, and then on top of that, it's okay, McCarthy's out. What if you bring in a defensive coach? Like, how much? Like, it really is kind of almost like this year is like a breaking point. I feel like for the Cowboys, like they really need to kind of figure out what's going to happen next.
It'll go down in history for sure, no matter what happens or what takes place. And congrats to the Dallas Cowboys having to figure it out. And maybe they do all view it as one last hurrah here.
Yeah.
And hey, one last hurrah
sure.
as we go ahead and do that. And that's wild to think about with the Jerry Jones team. Going back to him saying, I have more information than most people in this entire thing. So I wonder how many times he's used that in negotiation. Hey, listen, I actually know, so I'm not able to. Yeah, but what about these other deals that are that fucker don't know.
They're irrelevant.
They have no idea. That's a wild negotiation. But he is. He was the only one that negotiated in that deal.
Yeah.
Was he the only one paying attention? Very fascinating. Speaking of money, big money at one of those train stops down in Miami, D-Butch. How do you feel about it all?
No, that was my favorite stop. Didn't love what you guys did there with that video. I don't think we had to put that part in with Tua going to the crowd. I think if he had that moment back.
Who tweeted that?
I would hope. I think the Dolphins did tweet that. So big.
Wait, what video? You talking about this one right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tua addressing the training camp. Doll fam. Becoming a trend that they started, by the way.
Yeah.
It's got an antenna coming out of his back there. Is that where the microphone? I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Fans showed up to a free training camp event. You know,
we know how expensive games are, but look, I never got $53 million a year signed with my name on it, so I don't know what that excitement level is like. So shout out to Tua. Obviously, that was my favorite training camp stop. You obviously see he got his money, which he deserved, he earned. And as a Dolphin fan, we've been looking for a quarterback for a long time. Obviously, a long time we've been looking for a playoff win as well, so we're going to need that out of Tua. Obviously, we got his top two receivers back. I think the best wide receiver combo in the league. Defensively, early. We lost Christian Wilkins. He went to Vegas and got 110 guaranteed. Lost him. Obviously lost Chubb to an injury as well. Lost Jalen Phillips as well. He's getting healthier. So we're going to need some playmakers on that defensive line. But I love getting all pro on the back end with Javon Holland. Should be one of the best safety tandems in the league. Obviously, we got Ramsey back. We got Weaver, new DC. A lot of guys, especially the vets, didn't love the DC we had last year. So having a new defensive coordinator, a new voice.
Who was it last year?
In that building, Vic Fangio.
Guy's never done anything, right?
Didn't love it. He's done a lot, but maybe
personalities.
It's different, yeah.
Miami.
It's different.
McDaniel.
We got some big time players down there. A lot of expectations. I'm excited. I think should be what's going on in Buffalo, in New York. Boston Connor's Super Bowl pick. I think we should be the favorites to win the AFC East.
Okay, well, good luck to the Miami Dolphins, and congrats to Tua. That's a real heel move.
Yeah.
Real heel move.
As a baby face.
Super baby face.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Super heel. Show me money. Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
We didn't. Well, we don't have it.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? Are you talking to us or are you talking to... You're talking ownership. Got it.
They're here too.
Okay, hell yeah. This is your opportunity to do it. Nonetheless, I like how pumped he was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like how jacked he was. And I like that they got continuity. I like that McDaniel goes to the front office and says, yeah, Tua's the guy. Everybody around the world thinks that we can just pop and place anybody into this offense.
Yep.
Do you remember what it was like me trying to teach Tua this offense? How many motions, how much understanding you have to have about the play clock, game clock, where everybody's going to be? It's a lot. Now, granted, is that system one that makes people open? Maybe, but it's a complicated one. That is certainly something that is not easy to figure out. Tua has it mastered, and what he's great at is what you need.
Yep.
Yeah.
In that decision accuracy.
Yep.
Yep. Very accurate.
Can Oos travel to a little chilly area?
Right.
Of course.
And get things done.
Maybe get a couple home games in the playoffs.
Yeah, gotta win early.
Nice.
Gotta win often. So you have that thing down in Miami, which northern teams aren't gonna like coming down either.
Get cooked.
Into that thickness, it's not gonna be easy. So good luck to Miami. I like that stuff. Con-Man, where are you stopping at, brother?
Cleveland. West Virginia with the Browns at the Greenbrier. I felt like Vrabel running sprints with Jameis Winston. The vibes that you can have in a training camp, you guys can probably speak more to it. Probably gets pretty hot, probably gets pretty tired, the entire team. When you got a Jameis Winston and a Mike Vrabel kind of getting the boys going every day, that's got to help. I think if you just look at their team as a whole, they were probably the most banged up team that actually went on to go and do something. They at least went to the playoffs. They lose both their starting tackles to season-ending injuries. Obviously, they lose Chubb to a terrible injury. He's going to be back. They have the continuity with Schwartz and with Stefanski, both play callers on both sides of the ball. If I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, kind of love the conversation around it too, being nothing. It's the Bengals, it's the Ravens, it's the Steelers, which, of course, rightfully so, all three of those teams, they all made huge moves this offseason too. But they brought back everybody, and they really didn't lose any of their biggest pieces. And then you add Mike Vrabel. You add possibly the greatest motivator in the history of football in Jameis Winston. And yes, Deshaun Watson said these last 2 years it's been hard to block out the bullshit. Definitely an interesting way to phrase what's happened the last 2 years. But with Jameis Winston in your ear, just giving you motivation 24/7, it's probably going to help him out a lot with having him there. But yeah, also add Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper. Elijah Moore and David Njoku kind of came on at the end of the year, too, last year.
Same old line.
Same old line. And, DeJuan Jones, he has a lot more experience now. And they added Zach Zinter in the middle from Michigan. I mean, kind of look out for the Browns if you're in the AFC.
The dog pound could potentially be barking. Deshaun Watson, another year, getting back in there. Hopefully he could stay healthy. Vrabes walking around that building just giving out gospels. Wild. Hour 2 on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Joining us is a demon. Ladies and gentlemen, O's the Mentalist will be joining us.
All right, O's. Let's go. What's the pick? I'm not giving away for free. Bill, what time is it right now?
7:57.
Write it as big as you can.
Wow.
Okay.
It's about to get weird. From this point on, I never touch this bad boy. We're going to revisit later in the draft.
All right, O's, get in here, you sick son of a
weird.
bitch.
Almost 2 hours.
Hold it. Oh, don't drop it.
Oh, no, I dropped it.
Okay, AJ, take the cards, look through them, and here's the thing. I want this to be random. Yeah, you can.
Okay, yeah, what's up? My hands are a bit frozen, but yeah.
I want you to take, but hold on. I don't want you to look for your favorite.
Bill's booking Sean Payton right now.
There we go. Head boy Bill.
AJ, slow. Lift. No. No.
Like one of your guys.
Take off a piece.
Oh,
it could
she
be a
fucked
lot
my
or a little.
shirt. Oh, right here.
And don't look at it. Lift it up.
I'm not.
Put it against your body. That feel right?
Yeah, feels
AJ,
great.
if you don't feel like this was the right moment for you, you want to change, put it back.
All right, I'm putting it back.
It's up to you. All right, lift off wherever you want,
We're back.
more or less.
No, that's not, okay. Now I'm
you
good.
want. Is
3
that good?
times. Good.
Okay.
This is a good one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, of course.
Stay right there, locked and loaded.
Oh, you fucked up my shirt, bro.
And there is a white piece of paper.
Yep.
Is that right? That's all that's in there. Take that out. I want you to see this. Look, AJ, open it up.
No fucking way.
No
and
way.
show us and show AJ what you got. What is that? Show us. 9-9. Turn around and show us where you're at.
You ready?
Yep, turn it around.
No way. Shut up! This guy!
757, that's important.
That's been in there since 7:57. Imagine that you somehow know the game of the year next season. Tell us, what are the two teams that you're seeing in this game? Wow. Say it.
Packers and 49ers.
Who do you think's going to win that game?
Packers 34, Niners 27.
Tell me on your life. Did I tell you to say anything? Did I
you
say
did it, and I swear to God, if you get this right, I'm gonna rip your fucking head off.
Tell him the game of the year.
Oh my
read
God.
It to him, please.
Come on, bro.
Read him to him. Packers beat the 49ers 34-27. Remember this screen grab when it happens this season. Open up what's been in there since 7:57.
Come on, dude. There's something wrong with you.
Open it up. It says Brock Bowers, 13th pick Raiders.
Fuck this guy.
How?
Fucking way!
There's no way!
This guy's a witch. Bears, Caleb Williams.
100% we knew it.
Commanders, Jaden Daniels.
No, don't
Patriots, Drake May. Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. Chargers, Joe Walt. Giants, Malik Neighbors. Titans, J.C. Latham. Michael Penix Jr. Roma Dunze. Vikings from
Traded
Jets.
with the Jets.
What? J.J. McCarthy, Jets from Vikings. Olu Fashanu, Broncos, Bo. Knicks, and then the 13th pick.
Oh my God!
Bowers to the Raiders.
I'm so happy I'm not.
Beautiful.
Taped on his chest since 7:57. Right now it is 9:50. You're a demon.
Man.
O's.
That's fucking unbelievable.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Overreaction Monday, July 29th, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. We are so close to football being back, but in the meantime, we have the Olympics in sports we know nothing about to take place for us to cheer on obnoxiously, ignorantly, arrogantly, and in a fashion that we can be confident because our women and men have prepared their entire lives to put the United States of America on their chest and on their back and go compete in sports we know nothing about, but they're going to win it for all of us.
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
I love the Olympics, man.
It's the best.
Love them.
I legitimately love them. I was hopping around Peacock numerous times. Let me see the Olympic tab, cool. All sports tab. What's live? Rhythmic gymnastics, that's coming up. Okay, can't wait to judge that. Can't wait to act like I know what the hell's going on there. Gymnastics takes place. Oh, the difficult value is just not enough with that execution. With the execution that performance had, the difficulty value had to be much higher to start this entire thing. You're talking about, that's a Simone Biles thing.
Yeah.
Her difficult value is so high that she could actually stumble on her shit. As long as she just attempts it, she'd probably have a podium score. And it's like, that's wild, because those two things come together for a final score, and then there's deductions or penalties. The penalty for a stumble or whatever is not greater than the difficulty value difference between her and third place, because she has the first and second toughest things in the entire. She's the best.
Yeah.
It's awesome to watch. I hope the calf's okay. She couldn't even walk.
I know.
That was bad.
I know.
Football girl too. People, football people.
That's right.
Let's remember that. She's couldn't even walk, and then all of a sudden she runs that shit back with a different one. Oh, that's the second hardest thing that's ever been attempted in the history of gymnastics right there. It's like, okay, we got it.
Yeah. I know, get choked up talking about it.
Yeah, it's how much
it's hard not to. It's the Olympics.
Talks tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here. Live from Hammer, Todd. Tone Diggs here, who's an author. Available now.
Hell yeah, Tony.
How we doing, boys?
Need to know Gambler's Guide for the 2024-2025 college football season. Available now at store.patmcafeeshow.com. All proceeds, all money made off of this thing will go to a charity. We got to figure out which charity, but it will be some football charity.
The Dutch Danger NIL Fund.
Well,
not a bad idea.
We're not putting it all into pretty much sports. They no longer under investigation. They're 2 jobs removed.
Yeah, exactly.
They're They're not a head coach of Notre Dame.
Yeah,
Coach Dutch Danger is the head coach of Notre Dame.
Finally. Can't wait to get there. And there have already been some rules Dutch has kind of implemented for his future recruits coming into Notre Dame.
Well, I can't wait to see what you do with Notre Dame. The Catholics and Christians. Yeah, they're riled up right now. So go lead those Fighting Irish and go lead that Notre Dame squad with some passion up there at Pretty Much Sports.
Yeah, a lot of baptisms coming in hot at South Bend, I'll tell you that much.
Joining us now live from an attic in Ohio, ladies and gentlemen, a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, AJ Hawk.
Yeah, Hawker.
How you doing, AJ?
Doing great. Been watching the Olympics just like you guys. You've been choked up twice already in the first hour. Just speaking of this, so that just shows how much it means to you.
How about the national anthem being played? I thought about that because the Australian lady swimmer on the news, who's not a part of this Olympics, was part of a previous Olympics, was talking about like how bad they hate hearing the national anthem play and all their drums and the bell and everything, like basically burying the United States of America. And Phelps watched a video and he said, they're going to poke the wrong bear, bring me back into that water. You know, he was getting pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
And they showed it to the United States swimming team this year in a part of the opening, part of that entire thing. And then you see one of the podiums, and it's like you're standing there. The French guy won. Marchand.
Yeah.
He broke Phelps's Olympic record, does not have the world record, but has the Olympic record now. He was standing up there. That entire place was singing the French national anthem because how loud it was. And then, you know, American, I believe, up there. And then China, I think, I forget the two, maybe I forget the countries, but they're just standing there.
Yeah.
That has to be awkward.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That has to be
Pissed me off.
What's that?
Pissed me off.
Bingo, yeah. So, like, I thought back to that Australian one. I'm like, I could see how you stand up there and just be like, Jesus, this thing. How long is this song? The French national anthem, long. They got couple
bars.
They go a couple in there because old buddy was standing up there singing it, and the whole place was going crazy. And then you see second and third place. I could see how you would not like that
for sure.
I could see how that would not be a desirable outcome for anybody.
Yeah, because it really is in your face. And then when you throw in the fact that it's in France, like that atmosphere is so cool. But to your point and to the lady from Australia, like if you are in the home country and that person wins, it really is like, oh, I shouldn't even be up here. Like I didn't win and they're not singing my anthem. Like, why am I even standing on this podium?
And think about this. You're an Olympic silver medalist, okay? You might get a deal for that back in home. At your high school, you're going to get celebrated. There are parades for you.
Speak forever. Public speak.
This is how I became an Olympic medalist. My story from blah, 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 to blah, blah. But in that moment, you don't even exist.
Nope.
You don't even.
Irrelevant.
You don't even exist. That is what it feels like as you're watching that, AJ, legitimately.
Yeah, I guess it would make sense if you just had the gold medal winner for their anthem, and then I guess let second and third stand up and do theirs. Maybe before, I don't know. Yeah, it would be awkward.
No,
but
I
also,
like it. I like that they do that.
Yeah.
I like that moment.
Some people are juiced. Some people are over the moon excited for a silver or a bronze, and some are completely dejected and they feel like their life is over, even though they're still winning a medal.
We had an American come in third, I think. It was his first ever. And maybe it's I don't know which race it was. Young guy talks about how nervous he was and how thankful he was it was over. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm pumped that I just won." Like he was very excited to get the bronze. He was like, "I was so nervous, pretty excited that it's over with, to be honest with you." And I'm gonna remember this forever. And then just kind of walked off.
He was from Cincinnati, I think. If I saw that one myself,
he was so pumped.
It was awesome.
I was like, that was the most real answer.
Yes,
I have heard.
And he was very young.
Yeah, I'm just I couldn't breathe earlier.
Freaking out.
He's relieved. He's relieved, like some coaches usually when they win a game.
Yeah, exactly. But he was open about it. I was like, I couldn't imagine. Because once again, we can't stress this enough. 4 years at least, let alone your whole life. whole life, obviously. But then you get to a time where it's like, all right, we're doing Olympic training now. 4 years to get to trials to make the team. You make the team. You're best in America. Way to go. What a moment. It was all worth it.
Massive deal.
It was all 100% worth it. You're at the Olympics. And then if you're in swimming, swimmers take your marks.
Yep.
Okay? If you're in swimming and that thing goes off, and you and then you go
done.
Like man on fire.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
4
You
years.
fucking lost.
You're done.
17 years straight of waking up every morning. Throw it out.
Wasted.
Because right here you just fucking
It might be the first time you've ever done that too. It might be the first time you've ever even hesitated. You've won everything for the last 3.5 years, and then you choose the wrong day. I guess that's what makes it so sweet, like because so much is on the line.
so pressure. I couldn't even. Well, how much money they're making if they win this entire thing? Oh, 50 grand.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's
Add that
great.
in there.
Unless they go to, obviously, sponsorships and appearances and everything are a part of it. They do the reality show gimmick, where if you're on a reality show, you get paid nothing, but you can go make appearances at different grocery stores, Olympics, and nightclubs for the reality show people. That's kind of the business of it all, but I can't help but feel that literally every time I watch anything.
Well, what if you're the poor guy on the diving board who had a bit of a mishap and may have smacked his back a little bit? That thing was all over the internet.
I think that's from a few.
I was going to say that definitely was not from this year's Olympics.
Yeah, but that's always possible.
God, it was from this year.
Hey, that's always possible though. That is literally that's from 2015.
Yeah.
But it is literally possible anytime they step up there, and let alone I watched. I think a girl's from Indiana. That's part of the duo diving team. It did very well. I forget what it was, but right before they jump, you go 1, 2, 3, go, and then they do the bounce. The bounce on a thing is supposed to be 1, 2, 3. What if you accidentally just fucking as a human, you have a twitch of your pinky toe? Your pinky toe twitches. All of a sudden, the 1, 2, 3, go. You're off just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And you're doing double McTwisties at different times. You might as well have not even gone to the fucking Olympics.
Yeah.
It is so crazy.
Or how about the weather? The weather in the cycling thing, it was raining and people were falling all over the place.
We had an American from Brownsburg, Indiana.
Yeah.
She ended up coming in second, I think. She fell. She actually fell. She was very distraught.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very. Because think about cycling training. Think about the cycling training, what that is. That is miserable. People do the... Peloton, and people are into it or whatever. It's because people are getting in shape because of how hard it is. Cycling is very, very difficult.
Yeah,
you got to commit a lot of time to it. There's no pill to take to get good at cycling. You got to commit everything to it. So for it to be rainy, and then for your bike tires, for whatever reason, it felt like the American tires were a lot different than everybody else's. We fell more than everybody else.
Yeah,
our first girl that went out fell 3 times. And then the guy who was coming out, the mechanic had a backup bike for her. He comes out, slips on his face, slams bike, body weight.
I missed that.
Body weight on bike. Boom. Then he picks it up and I look at it and then
there you go.
Good luck.
Puts her on her and then pushes her. His knees underneath his pants are just absolutely busted.
Yep.
Her legs are all there. And then I guess the American here from Brownsburg, she went last. I think she was last. And she fell one time, same thing. And then she ended up coming back in second. It's you fall, you got to click-clack your way back to the bike.
Yeah.
Clack, 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 clack. Then you got to click-clack your way in. Then you got to build. You got to gear.
Yeah,
right? You got to get all the way back up to whatever it was. It's that is I don't want to say a death penalty, but close.
Oh yeah.
And you trained your entire life for this moment, and it just so happened to piss on the sidewalk where there was a little bit of paint. Boom. We don't care. You're out of this thing. Good luck for the next 4 years. You might make the team.
Speaking of piss and weather. Or you train your entire life and you can't do the triathlon or whatever because there's too much poop in the river because it rained this weekend.
Who would have seen that coming, Tone?
You did. We did. It was all over the place. Yep. We talked, but we're the only sports show to talk about it.
How come nobody ever? We did journalism.
Yeah, that was real investigative journalism.
Yeah,
breaking.
Look what happened.
We knew about it. Just like J.J. Redick to the Lakers. We knew.
May.
Weeks.
We knew a month and a half.
Well, when LeBron had on the clear poncho in the boat, there's turds all over that place. They're not swimming.
Oh, you think he wore the poncho strictly because he didn't want any turds to hop up out of the sand and hit his sweet Calvin Klein jacket? I thought they all played fucking polo.
Oh, I know.
I thought they were all on the polo team. They were showing people in the boat, and I was like, I don't know who that is. Saw the polo right on the left. I'm like, it must be a polo team.
Polo team, sure.
And then I noticed everybody had. My wife was like, everybody's on the polo team.
Yeah, everyone has to play this year. Polo.
Watch your mouth. Okay, that is the emblem of it. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, not from the... What we want to say is thank you to the Olympic athletes for doing your thing.
Oh, yeah. Pinnacle.
And to the people that aren't watching, we understand you got pissed. Okay? We all were very, what's going on here? But let's not miss this moment to watch.
That's right.
What we could possibly watch.
Appreciate the athletes.
Yeah, let's
It's about the athletes, yeah.
Bingo. And we need athletes in places of, decision making for sporty things. We think personally that is a dumb athlete thought. So we don't have a ridiculous situation happen. People should not be for the ceremony to be a reason why people aren't going to watch is not good for sport. We don't need that.
Not at all.
Let's move forward. We move forward. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Olympics and shout out to all the athletes.
Oh yeah.
More of the American ones than anybody else, but also
Sure.
everybody. It needs you all.
Need everybody.
Need you all.
But the other ones kind of lose, screw up or something.
Yeah, need you to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then breathe once.
Yeah.
How about they were doing the breaststroke?
Breaststroke so hard.
Breaststroke? They're doing this one?
Yeah.
All that shit in the pool is.
Bro, shoulders were just seemingly popping out of place, and then they're like just stretching their little nubs all the way up.
And a tenth of a second.
I mean, the back.
It was 0.2 of a second.
Two
people tied
at the same time. They hit the wall. Yeah.
How? It is awesome. The Olympics are awesome. I can't wait for speed walking to take place. Wait till you see these assholes.
The track.
Wait till literally, they're bleeding. The butthole bleeding.
Oh yeah.
These people.
Wait, what?
Chafing.
Well, how many miles do they speed walk at a time?
What are we talking about?
They're also are they taping? Well, you got tape your head.
bleeding.
They're dumping on themselves. It's that long.
Yes,
dude.
Just wait until you see this. There's people that have sacrificed their entire life so that they could walk faster than everybody. And you got to have one. I think you got to be planted. Is the rules. Got to be planted. So you're trying to run while being planted, which creates obviously a phenomenal
strut.
One of these bad boys, and they got blisters on their toes, heels, legs, cheeks.
Yep.
You name it.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Boom. These things, because you gotta.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, exactly.
The undergarments.
It's actually more upper body than it is lower body.
Twist.
Ribs are all screwed up.
The heel to toe, that little twist you got, that's the key. Like whoever has the great, loose shoulders and hips, they kind of get it going.
Yeah, you got it. Who?
Oh, Ben would be great.
Big Ben.
Oh yeah.
He was around.
Carson Wentz potentially very good.
Carl could do it.
He almost fell first day of practice. You see that?
Oh yeah.
Slipped before practice even started.
Can't help himself.
He had to take a hit.
Exactly.
He's had to take a quick little panic. Joining us now will tell us more about things that are happening around all NFL training camps and maybe in contract negotiations. Senior NFL insider for ESPN, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shefty!
Gentlemen, good to be with you. Happy Monday.
Shefty, what do you know about our speed walking team representing in the Olympics, the United States of America's speed walking team?
Favorites to win the gold. Going to take the gold here. No doubt about it.
Okay.
Put that on the...
All right. Like it.
Put that on the...
Yeah, put it on the ticker. Exactly. I want to see that. Adam Schefter says the speed walking team is going to win the gold here.
Oh, okay. We're getting a little... All right, let's get at it. I like that. We want to see that. We want people to know that our speed walking team is about to beat everybody. Schefter, let's talk about some teams around the NFL. Dallas Cowboys situation.
On CD, you talking?
No. Your eyes closed. I thought you were gone. I thought you left us there for a second. Happy you are here.
I'm here.
Okay.
I thought you were gone.
No. Well, I'm happy that we're both here. That's good news for both of us. All parties are currently present. Back in the office studio you have at the house, better than in the car. We appreciate you joining us here. So let's go to the Dallas Cowboys. Clarence Hill reported via an interview of some sort where Jerry Jones talked about the future revenue of the NFL because of this Sunday ticket situation. Now, this is being alluded to by a lot of people as being maybe a reason why Jerry Jones doesn't want to dump a bunch of upfront money to people at the current moment. Is that accurate? Is CD, Dak, Micah, Mike McCarthy? I mean, everybody seemingly is in a contract situation over there, and Jerry's not spending. Why is that? What are we looking at? And how does it all work out, you think, Shefty?
Yeah, I don't believe that's why they haven't reached deals with these people. Again, why is it that every other team in the league is signing players and they're not? So the Cowboys are going to lose wages here and not make certain amounts of revenue. The Dallas Cowboys, the cash printing factory, that's the Dallas Cowboys, and they don't have enough to pay their own players, but teams like the Dolphins and Packers and everybody else does. The Cowboys are cash poor all of a sudden? I don't think so.
Well, then what is the deal? Well, how does it work out? Are they waiting to see? What do you think happens?
I just think that they are in a tough situation. They have allowed themselves to be, I think, passive here this offseason. And when you are reactive rather than active, you put yourself into difficult positions. And they put themselves in a tough spot here all along. With CD Lamb, it would have been great to be out in front of it to get that deal done before some of these other wide receiver deals done. Now, the thing here is that CD Lamb was very smart. He wanted to wait for these other deals to get done because it was only going to elevate his market. Dak Prescott is in a situation where it's just incredibly difficult for the Cowboys to negotiate with him because of essentially what they gave him in the past. They gave him the ability not to be tagged. They were the ones that franchised him twice before. They were the ones that have put themselves in a situation where now, if and when he hits the open market after the offseason, his price is going to be through the roof. He's going to set the record, highest paid player in NFL history. It's going to be a number that we haven't seen before in the National Football League. So to get Dak to do a deal now, you'd have to pay a ridiculous amount of money, a number that the Cowboys haven't been willing to get to. And I think everybody, frankly, will be a little surprised at how high Dak's price climbs after the season if he remains unsigned. So that's that deal. And Micah Parsons, that deal's not going down if he keeps playing the way he does. So they're just in a spot. I don't believe it's DirecTV money or losses. They're just in a tough spot trying to re-sign guys that are hard to re-sign right now.
All right, let's move away from Oxnard, California, and move to Santa Clara. Where's San Francisco at the 49ers actually located? What is
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara. Yeah. Santa Barbara, great place.
Yeah, not San Francisco.
Yeah, it's not. It's in Santa Clara. Let's go to Santa Clara. Obviously, we know that. How's this go? You know. Yeah. So anytime we ask you, you are literally the direction in which we just feel about it. Like going forward, especially with this particular team. Not Eric, but this particular team for sure. There was a site. Yep, we know. We know you know.
No, but Pat, my job is to be like that with, to cover every team in the league, not just one team. Like,
you're right.
But this
one, we know is a top tier though. This is through the years of us. Yeah, tiers. Through the years of us doing this particular program, we have, gotten a chance to watch a lot of newsmakers and how it goes and overreacted to all of it. Literally, whenever we were just on the internet in the basement to everything. Whenever you speak about the Niners, it's like, this is it. There's a couple other insiders that have some places where it's like locked in. And you cover everybody incredibly. But when you speak about the Niners, we know it's a real deal. So with that being said, there was a video that popped up. Every team like that. Where there was a video that popped up where Aiyuk showed up at practice. He was wearing a backpack. He had a Fox 40, used it in. He had a backpack, sunglasses on. They get a do-rag, white shirt, shorts. Like, we don't know if it was a planned visit, a surprise visit, a want-to-be there, a whole thing. Then we see John Lynch go talk to him in the video. Then they walk down the side. Then Aiyuk walks, like, off the field kind of this way, and then they say that Lynch meets with him later. Where are we with the Aiyuk San Francisco 49ers? Did John Lynch tell him, like, hey, until we get this sorted, we don't want, like, how is the relationship between the two, and what are expectations for when this kind of all gets settled, if you will?
It's a tough situation because the wide receiver market has exploded and has gone way north of what I think the 49ers were willing to go, which I think many people would agree that was a fair number, but Brandon Aiyuk didn't like it. And so the window to get a deal done, I think, was greatly reduced when some of these other deals got done across the league and the numbers on these wide receivers rose. And so now Brandon Aiyuk is in a situation where he wants a new deal. He's asked for a new trade. And it's tough for any of these things to happen right now. Because even if they were to go trade him, I think they'd have to take 75 cents on the dollar. And if they're trading him for 75 cents on the dollar, why are the 49ers, who are in contention for a Super Bowl, going to go do that season? They could always tag him as a franchise player and try to trade him at that point in time for value while having his services this year. Now, if you go to trade him to anybody, you could pick any wide receiver needy team across the league. Many of them could and would love to have Brandon Aiyuk There's no debate about that. But you've got to compensate the 49ers with something that's fairly rich, and then you've got to go pay a wide receiver in today's wide receiver market prices. So it's costly on both ends to make that deal. That's not to say that a deal couldn't happen. Sure, it could, but it's challenging to get done. And it's challenging to get a deal done with Brandon Aiyuk when he's looking for top of the market prices for a wide receiver. So what happens? I don't know where it goes from here. I don't know that anybody knows where it goes from here because it's a tough spot to be in. Again, I would say to you guys, what do you think Brandon Aiyuk's contract should look like?
Yeah.
You tell me. You look at all those wide receiver deals, and you tell me what you think would be fair.
Okay, so I think what would be fair would obviously depend upon what situation I am in, because there's a lot of teams that would take Brandon Aiyuk. Now, would they give up trade compensation that's big enough for the Niners and also pay him? Who knows? But whenever you think about, like, how do you end this situation? You go to the Saquon.
I think everybody's trying to figure that out right now.
So I think you go to what Saquon Barkley ended up doing with the Giants, which was like throw out the deal pretty much. Let's sign a 1-year deal instead of the franchise tag. And then normally that 1-year deal, though, would have a no franchise tag thing tagged at the end of that. So the Niners would have to agree to not franchise tagging him after this season if they were to do that type of deal with Saquon. I think that is kind of how, and they bumped his money for 1 year a little bit. I think Austin Eckler had a similar situation where they bumped his money like $700,000 where he was unhappy. It's just like with how public.
Amari Cooper just got a raise from the Browns, $5 million in incentives. They guaranteed half his money for this year, half to 20. Like, there are always things that you could do and adjust. And honestly, it's up to both sides to figure out what can they both live with and move forward doing here. That's the whole key to the situation. And right now, I think everybody struggled to do that so far. We're not even a week into training camp. And so they're trying to piece it together. And in all honesty, I don't know that we've reached a critical point yet to where you feel like, oh boy, we've got to get this done. We're not even in August yet, right? The season doesn't open until September. And I think that there'll be a little bit more urgency to this deal and Tristan Wirfs in Tampa and Matthew Judon in New England and Jamar Chase in Cincinnati and CeeDee Lamb in Dallas and every single unresolved contractual situation. I think that sometimes they get done right at camp and right at the start of camp. If they don't get done then, it feels like there's a little window here where there's some wiggle room where the urgency doesn't really kick in until we get a little bit later into camp. That's my own feeling. I can't prove that. There's nothing scientific behind that. But again, I think sometimes when you miss that initial window, there's nothing that pushes both sides to get it done until we're a little bit further into training camp.
Well, it would make sense what you're saying, because if you've ever seen the front office or the scouting department or the people that would be in the negotiation with a veteran player, first couple of days of training camp, they all want to see how their guys are doing. How are our rookies doing? How are the people that we scouted doing? GMs want to see how the draft class is doing, how the offensive line's maybe gelling, how D-line's gelling. So this first week of camp, there's a big hey, we want to see how this team is. So maybe there is a little bit of a distraction from getting business done because they're trying to see how the boys are doing that wanted to be there as opposed to those that don't want to be there.
And it goes both ways, right? For the first padded practice today, Matthew Judon in New England, not practicing. Tristan Wirfs in Tampa, not practicing because the pads went on and they know that the risk is a little bit greater. And then the player can send a message by not being a part of practice. And it's the exact reason that the Packers got the deal done on Friday night before their very first padded practice on Saturday. Again, that's not a hard and fast deadline, but they don't want to start padded practices on Saturday without their quarterback, just like these players in New England and Tampa. They don't want to be out there for a padded practice when there's money on the line. Jamar Chase in Cincinnati, as of last night, 4 straight days, 4 practices, no Jamar Chase. Now, I know that the Bengals are saying they have a plan, but I think Jamar Chase has got a plan too. And let's see how it plays out over time.
Seems like he's executing it right now. Everybody's talking about T. Higgins. Jamar Chase is like, yeah, the reason why you're not paying T. Higgins is because, you see, you got to.
Hello.
And what did owner Mike Brown say, Nick, in interview about paying everybody? What did he say?
Basically
He
said
that
go ahead, Chef.
he said the all season is the time to do the deal, and that he said the die has been cast. That was the phrase he used. The die has been cast, and he made it sound like there wouldn't be a deal until after the season. Now, again, we'll see. That's how he feels. That's how the team feels. And I'm sure the player will also have something to say about that.
And what else did he say, Nick? He said something about being able to pay everybody, or was that kind of what was the?
Yeah, it was insinuated, saying he talked about the salary cap being a pie, and that everyone needs a piece of the pie, and some pieces are bigger than others, and it's not going to be enough for everybody.
I'm intrigued because it's Cincinnati football, baby. We all know.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about this particular situation for the Cincinnati Bengals since Joe Burrow has gotten there and they've had success. It's like, hey, are the Cincinnati Bengals business-wise going to be able to afford to pay everybody when in the past they haven't? But they do have an indoor facility.
They do.
They sold they sold the naming rights to the stadium for the first time last year.
Smart.
They're starting to do it. They understand what's at stake. Jamar Chase, a big deal.
Yeah, Jamar is gonna be up in that Jefferson range, you would assume. Now, Chef, you talked about Aiyuk. I think he probably should be in that. He wants to be in that $30 million range, I'm sure. But Jamar probably going to be a guy to recess the market or wants to be in that conversation. Drafted top 5, top 6. Obviously outplayed, that contract from day one. He's going to want that type of money.
Yeah, Owner Brown also said in that interview, you can't just pay people willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Well, and listen, and Chase he's got this year left on his deal, and he's got the 5th-year option. So if you're the Bengals, you're saying, well, you got 2 years left. But if you're Jamar Chase, you're saying, well, I got $1 million in base salary this year, and I got $3.8 million in a roster bonus. So I make $4.8 million, and I got my wide receiver friends across making a lot more than that. Now, again, I asked the players on the set, Pat, AJ, Darius, if you're in a situation, how would you handle it? I'm just asking you that question.
Yeah. I signed a franchise tag immediately upon getting it offered, so I don't know if I'm that guy because I was a punter. But if I'm Jamar Chase, I would certainly – I could see Jamar Chase's side of this whole thing, but does he know he's a Bengal? This is
how it goes.
T. Higgins just kind of acknowledged it, like, this is how this goes over here. Maybe Jamar's the one to change it over there, though. Maybe Jamar's the one to change it. Go ahead, AJ. AJ's got a question for you, Shefty.
Hey, Chef, do you have any insight on what's going on with the New York Jets and Hassan Reddick? He seems like he's, piling up some discretionary fines from the team that could possibly, come to. But is he any closer to showing up? Are they going to get a deal done?
They've been talking, and it certainly sounds like there's been some progress. And I think I'd be surprised if they didn't figure out a way to get this one solved sooner rather than later. But he hasn't reported today. Doesn't sound like right now he's reporting today. Again, he's got 1 year left on his deal. This shouldn't be hard to figure out again. You sweeten this deal. You let him get to free agency if that's something that he could live with. But he hasn't shown up there during training camp. This is a great defense. They'd be even better with him on it. It's the reason the Eagles traded him. He still hasn't shown up. Didn't show up all during mandatory minicamp. Again, I think the two sides have been working together. They've been talking. But the Jets' stance has been, hey, we're not going to do anything for a player who is holding out until he's in camp. And the player's like, well, I'm not reporting to camp without you doing anything. And so that's the holdup. So I think the best way to sign this is, hey, listen, give me an idea of what you're thinking. Okay, you lay it out there. Player comes into camp, and once he's in camp, you know from the team that there is a good faith effort to know that they're going to get it done. And if they don't, then it's a problem for everybody. But again, I think there's got to be an understanding there for the two sides to be able to work together and work through this together so he can get into camp so that defense can reach its maximum potential.
What an interesting start to his Jets career here for Hassan Reddick from Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know how it's going to all work out, but Coach Saleh said before mandatory, we know he's working. He's a good player. Been around a long time. Hopefully they can settle the business off the field so we can watch that defense hunt. Speaking of that defense hunting, allegedly Rodgers got his foot stepped on by a cleat today.
Oh, no.
Was not happy. Was not happy. Plus, he was telling Garrett Wilson, when you see a corner and you see a safety, you need to do this. Garrett was saying, well, I see this, I do this. And they were saying, nah, you need to do this. And then they dap up, then they connect. Drama.
Yeah, a little bit.
Classic Jets.
Aaron's up fiery today, they said. It's like, oh, he got his foot. You ever get your foot stepped on? Think about a cleat now.
Yeah, spikes.
That is miserable.
In an NFL alignment.
And if you're a quarterback and getting your foot stepped on, something happened. that you could probably also be pissed off about. And it's interesting that I wonder if Aaron was like this last year, because Aaron pretty like, hey, we're holding things accountable. This is how we operate. This is how this whole thing goes. Just like Peyton was, just like Tom was, just like Michael Jordan was, just
Most
like
good athletes are.
everybody that is in a position of leadership that has been great throughout the history is like, hey, this is how this goes. This needs to work. But I guess since he's a hippie, right, people don't expect that. People are acting like this is big news. Aaron and Wilson getting after it's like, yeah, if they disagree,
Heck,
that's going to happen.
Anything with Aaron's going to be big news, especially in the early part of training camp.
You're right.
It just is.
You're right.
He could do or say anything. He could be hot about having his foot stepped on. He could have words with Garrett Wilson there on the sideline. Anything he does or says is going to be a headline in New York at all times. Just the way it is.
Yeah,
he knows that.
But we just want people to know, hey, that's like great football. Right? This is a good thing out of practice, not a bad thing.
Great thing.
Yeah, whenever this hit the internet, it was like, this is good. This is not bad, because they're actually communicating with each other and getting it sorted. So when you're on the same page, now all of a sudden we're rolling. This is great, not bad. I was intrigued to see how it's kind of taken. There's a lot of guys still available in that free agency world. Good, D.
Yeah, a lot of pretty good DBs out there. Quandre Diggs, Stephon Gilmore, Xavier Howard. He's healthy now. And top of that list for me, at least, is Justin Simmons. I think I just saw him on the top 100 in the top 60, I believe. Hearing anything about where some of these guys can end up, what teams they can end up on?
Yeah, I think in a case like Justin Simmons, it's a case where he's been talking with teams and he's gotten interest. And I think it's the type of thing where he could opt to do a deal right now, or he could wait until there may be a team that loses a safety in camp and at that point in time feels an even greater sense of urgency to step up and pay him. But, to me, at some point in time, I wouldn't be surprised if a team like the Saints made a move at safety. Like, they're still looking for a little bit of help. There's a lot of safeties out there. I could see the Saints being a potential home for one of these safeties at some point in time. That wouldn't surprise me all that much. But he's been talking, Justin Simmons has, and we'll see what happens with him in the future here.
We appreciate the hell out of you, Shefty. Keep killing it, brother. We're about, hey, how many days away are we from football?
We are 38 days from NFL football, 27 from college football.
Let's go.
30, wait, hold on. There's a game on ESPN on Thursday night. Now, I know it's preseason. Oh, yeah. I know the guys are already, it'll be like a glorified scrimmage, but it's still football Thursday night on ESPN, right?
Hall of Fame speeches this weekend.
That's right.
Come on. A lot happening.
Yeah.
Got after parties. Summer
it's not just speed walking, okay? There is some preseason football kicking off on Thursday night here.
They better hope that speed walking isn't on prime time.
Oh, yeah, because that's going to be bad news for them.
It better hope, because some of these sports are hard to find during the day whenever they're live. So that Paris in prime time with Tarico right in front of that Eiffel Tower, good show.
Great show.
Good show. Kind of runs the Gold Zone. They got to keep working that, I think.
Yep.
I think that has a lot of potential.
Draw on board that one.
What you're saying, Matt, right now, it's just not very good right now.
No, I didn't. Schefter, that is you. If you want to say that.
No, you.
You. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter, we appreciate you.
Yeah, Shefty.
Yeah, you got to work on that one.
Yeah, it kind of stinks.
For sure. Everyone just thinking that they could just put a word and then zone after and make it cool.
We did it with college football.
Yeah.
And our problem was a similar problem that Gold Zone's having. Commercial breaks.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
can't have this.
The red zone is so awesome because it's just like, bang, we're in it.
Yeah, 7 hours of commercial-free football. That's it.
He's doing it.
He is.
He's doing the Gold Zone.
I know.
It was nice to hear his voice again. It was nice to hear the research that he has done on all the sports too. It was very Jack Collinsworth as well.
Siciliano.
The guy from Ninja Warrior. Not Akbar Baha Biamia, who is now co-host of Good Morning Football. Congrats to him.
Matt Eisman.
Matt Eisman's on it. Like, I watch it. They are entertaining, but it's like they'll figure it out. They'll figure out how to bounce, I think, a little bit, because it's not easy with all the different sports. Who's going to care about what? Also, sound on some of these things, the way, like, commentary is a big deal for these sports we know nothing about. Like, I need Dwayne Wade, rave reviews.
D-Butt, please.
Hey, you know
what's going on, D-Butt?
I know him by his pronouns, he, him. Went to that line probably about 3-4 too many times. But outside of that, honestly, he crushed it. And obviously, I'm a big
He gave
fan.
good insight. He really did.
Great insight. Played in the league for a long time. Obviously, was a star player, was a role player, won championships, all the great things. I love him on the mic.
A part of a lot of moments throughout the history of the basketball. Let's just say basketball as a whole. But anytime you're thrusted in, there's a lot of ex-athletes that are dropped into the Olympic coverage. And it's like first introduction to something, obviously, I'll be excited to see in his next game. Like, I think he's only going to get better. I think Dwayne Wade's only going to get better because he does have, like, personal relationship with damn near everybody.
Yeah.
You know, in the entire
Stories.
thing. Stories, yeah.
Yeah. Like
Stories.
So much to pull from. Like,
Bingo.
I mean, the documentary about the Dream Team that was referenced by Austin Rivers, how, like, Kobe was, going to work out in the morning and the younger guys like LeBron, Melo, D-Wade, Bosh, they were coming in from the night before. Like, he has all those firsthand accounts that he can just go right to.
And it's also very fascinating that LeBron probably viewing this in a similar fashion, right? To how what he saw when he was young, like how the leaders of this USA team are probably supposed to, like, hey, this is the game, pretty much. Because the way LeBron is acting and handling this, hey, let's go. You know what I mean?
He wants to win. You can tell he cares. They all care. You could see that as the game went on too. Like early on, it was a bit tight, but then you see KD get in there and what he does, and you're like, okay, like these guys absolutely want to win this game. Like they don't want to let anybody down. They seem to like. I don't know. They just seem to be super engaged.
Yeah, I agree. And it feels like, whenever they were down, they were bummed out.
Yeah, pissed.
Like they were not, necessarily excited. I think there was a little bit of a wake-up shock, like, oh, this Olympic experience could be vastly different if we win or if we lose. Like this could be a lot of fun because I think they're starting to like experience it. They were going to different games, going to different events. I saw Peyton Manning taking selfies at different events. I saw a lot of people trying. It looks like a blast. Like it does.
I saw Snoop was watching Simone Biles. He was in the crowd.
Snoop's been everywhere. Snoop's been absolutely everywhere. He was in
TC. Tom Cruise is all over the place too. What's he doing?
He's out there.
I thought TC was potentially the masked
He might have been
torch runner.
He could have been
across the roof during the opening ceremony.
Chance.
Speaking of, we'll probably get to that another time.
What?
Well, no. Come on.
Oh, we're talking about sports right now. We'll venture off of that. Unmasking.
What are you talking about?
Robert Downey Jr., man.
Oh, jeez.
So we get to that another time.
People weren't thrilled, huh? You guys weren't pumped about that in the superhero world? I want to let you know that just as a live performance from Mr. Downey Jr.,
Sure.
it appeared as if he felt very good about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he knew.
He came out, he felt very good about it. I don't know the superhero movie world enough. I know this is a massive ordeal, though, because the internet reacted accordingly. We like this move. He's a bad guy now? He's a good guy?
Yeah, so I think it's kind of split down the middle because he is basically like what built the entire Marvel universe, which has gone on to become like the most popular movies that there have ever been. And now, because they're kind of struggling, because, spoiler alert, they killed him off in the last Avengers
Iron
movie.
Man?
Yeah, bingo.
Iron Man's gone?
Yeah, bingo.
Dead.
Bingo. So,
They got a time traveler, though. We can bring his ass right back like Rose.
That's what people are saying. But so in this next Avengers movie, he was announced as he's the main villain. He's Doctor Doom. So he's playing so a lot of people were saying like Marvel is creatively bankrupt at this point. They realize that like they need to do something, and they knew like stunt casting like this is either going to get a lot of people because everyone loves Robert Downey Jr. They just like he's incredible. So I think a lot of people are just like, hey, it's a very cheap move to bring him back as a bad guy to try to kind of save the franchise as a whole.
And D-Butch, you brought this up. You're bummed out about it? Or?
I don't feel either way about it. I mean, it's huge news. I hated that he died off. No more Iron Mans. But now I know in Marvel, it's always like alternate universes and something happened there, here and there.
Just call it what it is.
Just like I'm not into it, fully into it, but I will sign up for a Robert Downey Jr. movie.
It's Bush League. I mean, figure it out, okay? And I mean, I don't know how many times we got to sit up here and say it. Someone just find a role for Glenn Powell, and then guess what?
I've been saying it for a while.
You got your future.
Doom? He could be Doom Daddy.
He could be anybody.
Got to be a good guy.
He could be the new Iron Man.
Got to be a good guy. Got to be babyface.
Yeah. See, look,
Twisters did gigantic numbers,
big time.
What the Deadpool and Wolf?
Yeah, and Wolverine broke a bunch of records. Yep.
Deadpool and the Wolf,
Mr. Wolf. Yep.
Yep, the Wolfman.
Wait, did Downey Jr. have anything to do with the opening ceremony or the Olympics, or was that just completely separate situation?
It was a completely separate situation.
Okay, because it didn't cross my algorithm over this.
Well,
weekend,
Tom Cruise
I haven't
came
seen any
up.
of those movies really.
Yeah,
So.
and then he got into Hollywood real quick.
Oh, it wasn't Downey Jr.'s nutsack?
Okay, so I don't think you know. He's at his first heel move. I don't think so. How's that?
I'll look it up.
Tone, we don't need.
I'll look it up. I'll see. I'll address it in corrections.
Get a picture in picture here.
Hey, how's college football? Need to know gamblers guy going store. Do you know Tone Diggs? Actually, yeah, go ahead.
I bought 2 of them already, by the way. Already bought 2.
2?
Did you download? Were you able to?
No, I didn't download. I got to click the link still in my email, but they're available.
Thanks, AJ.
To download.
Okay, we appreciate you supporting the cause here.
Charge more than $5, by the way. I was fully expecting to pay $50 or $60.
I do not think we got enough okays to be charging anything, to be clear.
Oh, okay.
But it'll all work out.
I wanted to give it away, because it's the first time doing it. You don't want to. Listen, these people work hard for the money, and if it stinks, they're gonna be pissed if they paid for it. But it's going pretty well. Phil's updated me a couple times. It's going pretty well.
That's very
doesn't
nice.
Stink. There's no way it stinks. You guys wouldn't have put it together if it stinks. You wouldn't put it out.
You made this for the American man because that's what you are.
Thank you.
And that's who you represent and stand up for. I respect that.
That's why my pen name is Tony Callahan.
Okay, that's very nice of you to say these people work hard for money. $4.99 is certainly more than what we probably should have put it at.
I don't know, because we're paying $30 for a fucking coffee from Starbucks like every morning.
It's cheaper than all the other previews. I'll say that.
Isn't it crazy?
It's wild.
We've all just kind of waltzed right into it'll get delivered here. I'll pay $45 for a sandwich. What?
Two McDoubles and some fries for $43.
But it's coming to the door.
It is. It's coming to my door.
Well, and if you don't pay an extra $4, that thing's taking a tour.
And it's ice cold when it gets there.
You need that thing expressed right to you, because if not, that thing's taking a tour of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Game changer.
You're going to have a burger from a different town.
Right.
$4.99 is a good price.
It's a good price.
Tone put in a lot of work.
Too cheap. Too low. Tone works too hard.
I mean, the amount of gambling advice you get from this, too. Like, I got a $25 parlay to win $40,000.
Hell yeah.
Like, you tell me, is that what happens?
Yeah, we must reiterate the fact that is not a winner. We do not.
No. But it's something that I
could be
giving away free money.
What happens if it is? It basically is.
Do not do that. That was a big deal.
There wasn't a cash bet.
Was that Reese?
It was Reese.
Reese got murdered.
Reese was just complimenting the breakdown and was like, man, that sounds like.
I don't know. If you don't like free money, then that's on you.
Next, after the break, we take a deep dive into the SEC, throws it in there.
Yep.
All of a sudden, fire starts.
Ugh.
There is a fire thing happening with the train, I guess.
So what was that about?
I don't know.
Firestorm?
The Olympics, always drama. We need another. Speaking of drama, we haven't addressed it yet. I didn't know the Canadian way was to spy on people.
I know.
Well.
I had no idea that was how this whole thing went down. Think about the years of commitment we have had to our favorite ship painter that we have ever encountered.
That's right.
The battle we had to do with the government to allow him to re-enter into this United States of America from the country of drone spying, Canada. Gumps, I don't like what's being said about you because of this entire thing, but you are our Canadian representative. Yins have been cheating this whole damn time.
Well, it was the coach as a rogue agent, actually. The story keeps coming out. But I did enjoy Benedict Bill and that Bengals Mark coming at me while I'm trying to enjoy my Saturday night. That was great.
You call me Gump?
Yeah.
Bailey McComas, obviously, Bill put this one together. And I added Justin Trudeau on there, too. It's not just you. Okay, I want to know. I want to know, is this real or not? Because, people start bringing up, hey, how about the Wyatt Six, huh? They got in? It was in the back room, right?
Yeah, how'd they get in there?
Look at the back room right there. No. Wow. He's boxing out Foxy, getting his stuff done. But Canada women's soccer team has been fined 6 points in group play, so they basically have to win every game to move in advance. The lady's been fired, going to be gone forever. They were flying a drone over another team's practice and actually, I guess, utilizing it to get better and to, nowadays you can kind of see drones, you would think. So that seems like like out of a movie, you wouldn't really do that. Oh, we're just tour guide. We're just visiting, I guess. Now it's been happening for a while. The United States soccer team comes out and be like, we know they've been doing this. We've been thinking about handling it behind closed doors, though, not publicly. They didn't want to stain on women's soccer, I don't think, as a whole, which is certainly what can happen here. Instead, we just blamed Gumpy immediately. We said, Gumpy, how can he do this to us? How can you do this to anybody in 20? This is happening in Carolina, I guess.
What?
Down in Carolina, the Panthers, completely different story. There's a dude just flying a drone camera right over the practices. Just flying right over the practices. This is a very easy thing to do, I guess, nowadays. So, like, I assume teams are acting accordingly because you would think, like, nobody will have enough. And this is just Code Dizzle. Code Dizzle's doing his thing for content.
Right.
And we appreciate the hell out of what he's doing.
Good ball.
And Code Dizzle has got good grind. He's been working his ass off. Good drone fly.
Yeah, steady with that thing.
Good drone flyer, getting a good shot. We're seeing Bryce Young do his thing, and Xavier Leggett, from South Carolina or whatever. But it's like Bill Polian used to be scared to death that somebody snuck into training camp practice and put a hat on and was recording everything. Now there's just drones flying over practices, and they're just actually. It's a crazy time right now. How do you lock anything down, AJ? How do you lock anything?
They got to get. Don't some of those giant yachts have, like, billionaire people have those, like, drone jamming electronic devices where if the drone comes, they can somehow shut them down remotely? I would imagine these owners are absolutely right now trying to get those things fired up, getting on the dark web, trying to figure out how they can figure this out.
Because the Canadian soccer team, I go, no way they're doing this. And then it's like, well, why wouldn't?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Actually, wait, that seems kind of easy.
Like with the whole Connor Stallions thing, Connor Stallions was trying to make his mark and become like a person that they would want to be the Michigan Wolverines head coach. Wrote a manifesto about doing that. And it's like, well, if I know everything the other team's doing, I'm going to move up the ranks quickly. Like it could be rogue agent. Like actually could be rogue agent. We found that out through Connor Stallions. All you need is just an ability to fly a drone and then I don't want to say courage because you're cheating, but it's like the gumption, I guess.
Gourd.
Just be like
the Canadian coach, because they're banned by the COC drones. The Canadian coach asked in advance to bring them, and they said no, and she fucking used them anyways.
Well, we need them. So.
Well, and the Panthers, I just looked it up. They have that anti-drone technology, but they didn't think anyone would want to steal any of their plays, so they didn't launch it.
See, we don't think that's true.
Really?
I don't think that.
I might be with Dawn on that one.
Yeah, Tepper. If Tepper knows these drones are up there, he might
skydive out of a plane.
He might get a helicopter. He might get a helicopter, and like they do in those hog hunts.
Yeah.
Mount a turret on it.
Oh yeah. You could shoot them down, can't you? Is it illegal to shoot it down?
Well, New Orleans.
Yeah, Tulane.
Yeah,
Tulane.
We were down Tulane, and Zito was going to fly a drone. Before
Put the drone down, boy.
Cop said he was going to shoot it out of the sky. Zito brought it down.
That'd be sweet. You should have kept it going. That'd have been sweet.
That was my immediate reaction. Was like, so we tested.
Like the footage from the other cameras of watching him shoot the drone would be awesome.
Also, in a crowd of people at a college football game,
you're really gonna.
And Zeke keeps zigging and zagging, making him miss.
Gotcha. Zeke's going to jail there inevitably if that takes place.
Right.
No doubt about it. Zeke is on the ground.
Let's talk about some other things that happened over the weekend. And if we don't talk about them now, we probably won't, which is a damn shame. We should talk about it more often. The UFC had fights at 4:15 and 5 a.m. local time in Manchester, England this past weekend. For shoot. In a packed arena. 4:15 a.m. is when Paddy the Batty Pimblett tapped out, choked out, completely unconscious. King Ryan, that's Garcia. King
Desmond.
I forget. He was supposed to beat Paddy though. Paddy was allegedly. The internet thought this guy was going to beat Paddy. Instead, he goes for a double shoot, and Paddy just fought easy.
Yeah.
How you doing? Triangle, a couple different times, and broke his arm. And the guy was completely unconscious. Night, 4:15 a.m. They weren't the last fight.
No, there's actually two more after that.
There's the co-main events came on after that.
Yeah.
Aspinall, that knocking people out at like 5 a.m. local time. There was people snoozing in the arena, but there was not a lot of that. There was an electric crowd. This place was alive. I couldn't even fathom the amount of whatever was being taken in that arena to keep the energy and keep the juice. But that was why. That was crazy. I fell asleep. I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it to the end. They're at 5 a.m. Good on you.
Yeah, that's all. Unreal.
That's a whole. If you're playing on that, you got to plan like in advance. Hey, are you going to sleep up until 10 p.m.? Like, what are you going to do? How do you schedule your whole day?
Legitimately, I have no idea if they told him. And I guess as soon as they got the tickets, they were like, Mate, it's not. Right?
Doing it on East Coast time.
Too late. Too
Mate,
late, man.
mate, we need this. No, we're doing all night. Dana afterwards wasn't pumped about a lot of the effort.
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah,
he
that
was
was
not.
awesome. That was awesome.
3 a.m. I bet you they're saying, Dana, give us another opportunity.
Late.
4 a.m.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Leon's from there.
Yeah.
So it's not like
So is Aspinall.
it's not like he's Eastern, and just came over there. It's like
No.
his
Yeah, like the only guys where it would be like, okay, fine, would be all the guys training on the West Coast, where it's like, okay, well, maybe they could stay on.
All right,
West Coast
boys, we're
time.
third shifters tonight, just like the old days.
Yeah.
Come on. The backbone of any country is those who will work all night. That's us tonight. Let's wake up. Let's have juice. Let's go into that cage and let's win this fight. That was crazy. It was all hitting me in real time, too. I didn't know. We had not looked into it enough. I was like, oh, this is Patty's fight. Okay, this is good news. I want to see Patty fight. He's entertaining. I'm like, oh, this had to be earlier. And I look at it. Now it's live. Holy shit.
Excuse me?
I thought it was a typo. I looked up what time the card started, and it was like 10 o'clock Eastern time. I was like, but they're over. How'd that work?
Hey, that might be the new game. We got 3 a.m. shows.
Yeah.
You got to bring it and prepare. We'll be back tomorrow with more bullshit, to be honest. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice about change your life. Right, I missed it. I don't know. Hit it.
You got it.
I think you got it.
You got a little close.
got it.
You don't know, AJ. You don't know. You don't have a
None of us do, actually, so we're good.
Yes, we
Ah,
do. We
they
got a
do.
clock.
We know.
Yeah.
We know. We got a
Same
clock right there.
Same time every day on that
The
clock.
salute was in.
Yeah, you got
There
it.
you go.
Got it.
Good news. Good news. Some of the sports they need to. Ben Roethlisberger took a.
That was
Sorry,
great.
what?
I thought I didn't know if I was having like a brain aneurysm or like what was going on. It was right before the Patty the Batty fight, and I can't remember what they were talking about, but just boom, up comes like a Big Ben bad on third down or like third down miscue graphic. Yeah, this graphic.
Showing like celebs in the crowd.
4 times.
Yeah, and then so they pull it down like, okay, obviously this is a graphic from like 5 years ago. Let's get this off there. And then 2 seconds later, boom, right back up. They pull it down. 6 seconds after that, boom, the Big Ben one right back up there. So I'm guessing the people in the control room were maybe a little sleepy as well. Like, well,
How do you even pull that? You had to dig deep into the
exactly.
3 a.m. toss a Ben Roethlisberger thing.
Yeah, no one will notice. Who gives a shit? Let's remind people how bad Big Ben was on third down in 2017.
What's that all about, Tone? I think that's a little bit of a narrative shaper, don't you think?
Yeah, I didn't love what was going on there. Obviously, ESPN back in the day was spitting narratives that weren't true, and they decided to keep that in the holster and launch it on Saturday night. It's absurd.
I watch those. I enjoy watching those fights.
They're awesome.
Yeah, those atmospheres too over there.
It had to
were-
be that graphic had to be something about Big Ben, like the clock tower, right? And they just
Definitely.
pulled up the wrong file.
Like a live shot of Big Ben or something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Back to Big Ben.
Yeah.
Back to Big Ben.
Were the fights that bad that Dana was that mad?
I only watched the final three. Well, I didn't get to the last. I fell asleep because it was so late. It was, I don't know how they stayed up. I don't know.
First two on the main card were bad, like very boring.
He was pissed, right, Ty? Wasn't he pissed that people were saying, hey, you need to get bigger knockout bonuses or something beforehand? They were arguing, like, hey, up the knockout bonuses. And then Dana said, okay, I'm never doing that because I was not happy with what
he
went on.
He raised it to 100K, and then he was like, these guys don't even fucking care. I mean, he's two fights sucked. They don't even fucking care. It's bullshit. And then, I think a lot of people were saying, like, well, then, it's
4 a.m.
5 o'clock in the morning. These guys are a little sleepy. So
Could you imagine that arena? So impressed with that arena. They were singing. Obviously, there's going to be pictures of people falling asleep. But during those entrances, people were alive.
Yeah.
And like 4:30 a.m. When was the last time? I'm an old man.
I don't know if that's ever happened.
Yeah, because the ones that they did in Dubai or whatever, or the England ones before, they started at like 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock.
Dude, you gotta
in the afternoon.
You said you gotta shape your entire week. You gotta start preparing for that like 5 days out.
Yeah.
Like whenever you have a night game, and some coaches change those morning practices and night practices because we've been doing bad during prime time. We got to at least practice in the late afternoon. Kind of see how it all goes. What a wild time. I watched the fights though.
Oh yeah.
And shout out to Manchester. You guys showed up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Patty too.
Yeah.
Patty's rocket ship.
Yeah. I mean, England just celebrates the bag like nobody else.
That's. I mean,
some of the
a lot of
videos-
people were saying that.
Well, some of the videos of people outside actually like, oh, and then someone's doing a little bit of blow, and everyone goes fucking
4
nuts.
a.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was referring to earlier when I said I don't know how much of whatever was in there.
Yeah, a lot of it.
For an all-night situation. But that is crazy that they did that. I didn't expect all the people to say Patty was going to get his ass beat, though. I thought we knew.
Yeah, I believe Gumpy told me this because at least the people in England didn't like Patty.
They were on his side completely.
Yes, they were.
When he came out,
oh, Patty
the Patty. He's doing this entire thing with his song. His actual intro, because I assume Jack White won't let him use Seven Nation Army.
Yeah, probably.
Which we have found out a couple times as well in much smaller requests than that whole thing. They were completely behind him because he pulled for Spain, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's why the whole entire thing with like, I don't know if Patty's going to win.
But all the mixed martial arts people were telling me that this guy was going to beat Patty on the internet. Not all of them, but there was more than I expected to tell me.
I see a lot of people say that his cardio sucks because he fluctuates so much. He gets real fat after he fights, and then you obviously saw how ripped he was. And they're like, hey, in terms of just like career longevity and the human body can't physically do that continuously time and time again. But when he's tapping guys out in the first round, like, your cardio really doesn't matter.
The last time he won, he said he apologized because it was a boring. He said, I didn't like that. It was a boring win. I'm so sorry. And it's like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we need, this entire thing. When he gets in shape,
he's
shredded.
Yeah, shredded. Jaw, too, like a weapon. Like jaw line, very, very prevalent. Fun to watch him. He's a needle mover.
Yeah.
Absolute needle mover. They know Sugar Sean, obviously, future needle mover, doing his thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're trying to get him.
The Sphere, right?
John Jones. Oh, good. Aspinall had a sweet pitch, too.
Who? Petrol Hands?
Oh.
Hey, they said that was an early stoppage or whatever.
Against Blades. It kind of felt like that.
It did, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, it was still...
Because
he was going to win somewhere in the next 30 seconds, it felt like.
Yeah.
But that guy, just kind of was eating.
Had him sprawled on his stomach, on top of him. It's like if you do it too late there, that guy's brains are scrambled eggs, so it's kind of a tough...
Yeah, tough spot for the ref.
Yeah.
And once again, for the ref, it was 4:30 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, fuck this. Let me get home.
Let's get out of here. But you kind of have to stop the fight. Like, you can't just...
Yeah, it was like 10 straight to the head behind him. Now, granted, he did, at the end, kind of look like he was going to try to shoot him off. But then if he does that, he's still coming right back. I think inevitably, whatever's going to happen. But classic UFC, early stoppage, these refs screwing this. They're saying that about fencing. Did you see that about fencing in the Olympics? I guess there's some...
What do you mean?
I don't know. There was a little...
Watch fencing?
I mean,
what do you get a point? You get a point if you touch the
these
fencing?
fuckers
is electric.
Bro, you need to...
Yeah.
You might have missed
How the points work? How's it work, though? How do you get points?
I have no idea. Both sides are winning, it appears. Both sides are winning. Both sides are losing. And then all of a sudden, somebody gets a point, and you got to, look for the score to find out who it is. There's even been people celebrating that they get a point, and they don't. The other team gets a point. So there's a lot of sensors on their chest, I think on their shoulder, on their helmets. I don't know if you're allowed to hit in the face or not, but they're dancing, bro. I mean, it is.
That one guy jumping
up and down. I don't think you should be able to do that.
Well, those sensors should explode or something because I can't see shit. Okay, or the sword should have lasers on them or something like that.
Yeah, but
like
they're
the glowing
dancing, Tone.
They
You gotta
are
respect
dancing.
the dance.
I mean, a little paint on the front, so you're painting somebody would be pretty fun.
Or a squib that explodes, so it's like you slice them open when you get them.
Yeah. If it was easier to see when somebody got hit, it would be much better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I guess you guys need to see optically somebody get their life.
Some blood.
I mean, it's a sword fight, is it not?
Fake blood.
Yeah, just like a.
Squib explodes.
If they're playing a 15, you would have to.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, blood
way down.
You'll be bloody
too.
Yeah, you should have to take blood out of your give blood, and then they'll use your own blood in your
we're talking.
little fit, and then it's actually your blood.
Jeez.
But here's the positive: if you don't get hit, guess where that?
Nobody sees your blood.
Blood goes right back in your body.
Nobody makes you bleed your own blood.
Nope.
Which is it was intense. It was intense. Japan won their first gold medal in the men's fencing. And standing ovation from the entire arena. You saw the fencing community stand up. It was like a GIF. It was a GIFable standing ovation.
Nice.
Everybody was like, whoa, very proud.
Yeah, love those.
Very proud.
What country usually dominates?
So the Americans. We took first and second in the women's fencing. And that was immediately after somebody told me that people are paying for the censors to go their way. Yeah, and then America wins both.
That's the thing about the Olympics.
There's always going to be some shit. There's always going to be some shit, because it is very difficult to see who's winning. And I think even in the fencing world, they're depending upon the censors
Are there judges? Like, how does it work?
There's a ref that'll do a full song and dance each fucking point. I mean, like, with his or her back is to the camera. They're dancing in front here. Sweet lighting. I mean, the lighting is very sweet. It is a very cool setup. But they're right in front of you there, and then the ref will like do the points on the one side, and then like does a full like blackjack dealer hands thing, and then they move to the next one, and then they have a restart, and then there's little lines. It was cool, a lot of dancing. But the American women seemingly better than everybody else forever for the rest of the time, which is sweet if we ever have to go back to sword fighting.
Right?
Yeah, we got the girls.
You think they'd be good though with a big heavy sword? Would these people be pretty good?
Yeah. What are we talking about?
But they're only using one hand. What if like we're talking big old school Viking? You're using two hands and slashing.
No, just
you don't need a great sword.
Yeah, this is like cleats, brother. You know what cleats used to look like, and look at them now. They're gonna have little quick. They're gonna have a little quick sword.
Yeah. You slit someone's throat. You don't need a big sword.
It's gonna have a good enough base. It's gonna
Not
have
the
a good
sword.
enough.
It's a swordsman, AJ.
Or a swords lady.
Or
Jesus.
swords lady,
Yeah,
AJ.
come on, Toad.
I mean, what's his name? The wide receiver. He doesn't carry a hammer around with him. Okay, why does he need to wear cleats?
Good point.
What is that guy's deal up there in Buffalo? Guy goes shoeless.
Shoes are simple.
Mac
Tool.
Hollins.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
Yeah, I do. I love it. I mean, I love that you're living like that in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
But man, just one rock or one spike. I used to golf barefoot, and it's not. I mean, all you need is
toughen your feet up though. Don't it toughen your feet up a bit?
I assume, and also you get grounded. You know, the earth, Mother Earth is blessing you every single step you take, and your posture is supposed to be much better because the way the muscles in your feet are supposed to do. That's why those little toe hole shoes.
Yep.
Yeah, rock climbing shoes kind of took over there for a bit because everybody was going to have perfect posture around our country. That was a cool little run everybody had. For me, I just like, Air Force Ones and Superstars too much. It's going to be tough for me to take these shoes or these feet and take them out of the casa. I like walking on clouds. Yep. Yeah, I'll put the Hokas on.
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk on. I don't mind having a little protection from whatever Mother Earth wants to throw under there that's either sharp or annoying.
Amen.
But I appreciate that Mac Hollins is doing it. Get grounded, brother. It could toughen him up. He could be much more athletic than all of us, or it's just a mental thing that makes him better at what he does. And I respect it. Whatever. Needs to play an NFL game barefoot.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be sweet.
Those kickers used to kick barefoot, and I was always very flustered.
Why? Why would they kick barefoot, even in the cold?
I don't know. Guy kicked at Louisville whenever I was in college at West Virginia. He put an UGG on in between.
Really?
What?
Pretty sweet.
To warm up the foot, or
put his foot in a.
Was it sweet?
It was super sweet. Yeah, it was sweet.
In an UGG boot. Was it good?
It was cold. It was maybe one of the coldest games I've ever been a part of. This guy barefoot kicking. And I just thought to myself, like, buddy, what a terrible idea, with modern technology. But I guess his father or his father's father was a barefoot kicker, so he was paying tribute.
Sure.
And he was a good kicker because he was at Louisville, so he was a good kicker. But yeah, I had cleats on, just looking like a soft ass bitch, and he was just barefoot there, kick a ball, and then he would just go ahead and scoop that UGG right back on his foot, move to the next spot.
What did he look like?
He looked like a dog, He looked
With
like
the UGG on?
the UGG was pretty sweet. It was like cleat on left foot. It was this one, this UGG, the one that goes up.
Sure. Yeah, the boot.
The tall boy. Yeah, you want to protect the lower part of the calf too. That's part of the whole process.
Louisville, like customized or just?
Yeah.
It was black. It was black furry.
Airbrush have the logo on it or anything?
Black furry.
It was black furry one. It looked so warm. Actually, I thought
bet.
to myself, "Damn, I wouldn't mind putting my cleat
Yeah.
in that thing. That's actually a pretty good idea." Cut off the bottom. Now I got some wrestling boots.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm out there kicking.
That's not a bad idea.
Not bad. Maybe kickers need to do that.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. What a day. What a life. We'll be back tomorrow with a lot of shit to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow, it's we got to cover what's going on in New England. There's some blood clot situation, which is always very dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
I think, are the men playing again tomorrow, basketball?
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday? Okay.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday. Yesterday.
Get Tatum in there.
South Sudan.
I don't know.
We don't.
He just might not be good enough to crack.
Hey, if I'm the head coach, I only want 7 players, by the way. Don't put that on me. That's too much of a mental task to try to get everybody in these games.
Steve Kerr said that it's really difficult to play more than 10 people in any game, really. So, I mean, what do you...
True.
I don't know what you... Yeah, I felt like an idiot, he said. I looked down the bench, and Tatum's just sitting there, and we got his 2 teammates obviously playing a lot of minutes for us, and Drew and Derek, but they're different positions.
Them telling him pregame, like, hey, you're not playing, does change a little for me.
And I do appreciate that he just was cool.
Yeah.
Like, he could have made a big scene out of it. Could have been very openly, publicly, whatever. Buy in. United States needs a gold medal. I'm here for something bigger. Let's keep it moving. Inside, very pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very, very pissed.
For sure.
Because Wendy said, Serbia very tall and very athletic. It's like Tatum's like 6'8",
6'9", yeah.
6'8", 6'9".
They switch on everything in Boston.
He plays wing. It's like he can play whatever.
He covers guards all the time.
He play whatever. But I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying. And you're going to have buy-in if you're going to want to win with all the talent in the world, which Team USA actually has.
Yeah, but, I mean, come on, like you said, he can do everything. Both sides of the court, one of the best defenders in the game as well.
Is he?
But, hey, hats off to Tatum, man. That's probably the first time I would assume since probably he was 5 years old, maybe.
No, 5 years old. They said he was putting it on
the bench.
Yeah. 5 years old, he already had
He's putting on 12-year-olds. He's starting against 12-year-olds when he's 5.
Yeah, when he was maybe like when he was two, toddler. When he was old toddler Tatum.
Yeah.
They say you're not good enough to get on a court.
Fresh off a chip.
Oh, took time.
One of the most dominant runs ever.
It's like, I want to, you know what, shorter.
Kind of awkward, too. You have to, of course, he's happy for his teammates and all that, and Halliburton did a great job of that as well. But, yeah, it's a tough situation. It really is.
USA, fucking for the country. All right. And B just had his 5th turnover. Okay. Happy you're out there. Thanks for choosing America. He came back, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes more sense, too, that they didn't have Jaylen Brown on the team as well. That kind of answered that question, at least.
All right, before we get out of here, let's go to Hammer Dahn with Tone Diggs with some corrections on the day. This guy's a published author. Go to store.McAfeeShow.com right now for a need-to-know gambler's guide for college football this upcoming season. Tone Diggs, take it away with some corrections. I don't know how that's even possible.
Yeah, we didn't have any.
None on you guys.
Yeah, we love that.
But Wendy was tired. Derrick Rose is not playing in these Olympics. So just wanted to get that out there. And Chelsea, I believe it's Chelsea Gray who he was talking about there. He was looking forward to see on the women.
He was riding through Paris to Lille.
The 18-year-old from Chinese Taipei who Ty was loving on the table tennis.
Don't say it.
No, name's Lin Yu Ju. You were trying to think of the name.
Okay. You say lost.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think the finals have happened there yet. And then I reached out to a couple of people at NBC. Gaga was punished. She was at the top of the Eiffel Tower, but she didn't love the nutsack. So she was taken down.
So clarification and correct.
Good to know.
All right. So that would mean that many people knew that was going to happen, is what Tone's saying, obviously. It's the Olympic Games.
Maybe that guy was just doing the satin gum trick all day.
Yeah.
Just to kind of lighten the mood. And he forgot.
Hey, you all right down there in Hammer?
God, it was out. Yeah, his ball was out.
He forgot he stapled it to his thigh.
It's just like the Olympic Games. Like, we're not right for the Olympic Games, like being at the actual Olympic Games. When you think of the Olympic Games, you think of, like, the great.
Yeah.
You really do.
Pinnacle.
It is.
Sports.
Bingo.
All sports.
Bingo.
Yep.
And I'm still going to enjoy the shit out of it, and I hope you do, too.
Amen.
Hey, Tone, great work in there. Way to correct.
Thank you, brother.
Congrats on that thing. It's sweet.
Yeah, very cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I don't know, guide. It's a book. Took a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
No researchers. Who is his researcher? Himself.
Wow.
Way to go, Tone.
Hey, baby Tony.
Had a boy, Tony.
Proud of you, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me.
Yeah, you will be paid nothing for that. All proceeds will go to charity, and I don't like that either. We'll add something to the salary. Add something to the salary for him being an author.
Well, shout out
Good karma.
D-Bone did all the graphics in there. So shout out D-Bone.
Hey, D-Bone, had a baby D-Bone?
Baby Bone.
D-Bone took like a week off or so.
Yeah.
He's like a 3-on, 1-off guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like a nurse.
Gotta respect it.
Great those jerseys, too.
Yeah, you still work for NCAA 25?
Yeah, I think. Well, they got him working over there.
All right.
They got him grinding over there. He'll figure it out. He'll get to the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's also got some ideas for Dutch Danger, who is
really
electrifying. I want to let you know, watching Coach Dutch Danger do his thing is very electrifying.
I didn't know he had ideas. I can't wait to hear him.
Well, he did. He ran him up there.
One. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the slide protection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll see if D-Bone has any more ideas, because I don't think he should.
Oh, whoa, geez.
What's that about?
The opening of the eyes, the delivery there, that sounded like a little bit of
Coach Dutch
he was invited to USA football camp.
Team.
Yeah.
Not just camp.
Yeah.
Team. Yeah.
Invited by himself.
They wanted to represent America.
If you pay $34.99, you can make it to the camp. You pay $38.99, you can make team.
Mm-hmm.
So $400, you can put this on layaway if you'd like and pay for the rest of your life, just like college loans. But we need USA team. D-Bone is a weapon on the graphics. He's also a part of this particular guide, but he is 24 years old.
Yeah.
So we have to deal with everything that comes with.
Whew.
You know? And that Isn't that great, AJ?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is.
It's great. First time I've been around somebody this particular age on a regular basis. And it's certainly an experience. It's certainly an experience. Fucking talent, though.
Yeah.
Guy's a real talent. It's unbelievable what he has kind of done for his entire life, though. I don't know how.
It's crazy.
I genuinely have no idea how, but I'm proud of him. Here's him trying to help coach Dutch Danger last week on Pretty Much Sports. And we lost the audio.
Okay.
Yeah, we hear. Zito just told me the audio went out.
Okay.
We don't.
No.
Uh-huh.
Connor told D-Bone to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
did.
Uh-huh.
Promptly and quickly. I'm happy we edited that out. That was very nice of us.
Yeah.
Because there might be kids watching.
True.
Of course, yeah.
Still in summer.
No nutsex in those videos, though.
I thought
How
D-Bone had
come all
his
the
hanging
people?
out.
How come all the people that write about us ruining sports media don't seemingly have? What's that all about? They put their pens down. What, they don't take the summer off.
It's a good question.
Guess we don't show enough nutsack.
All right. Okay.
All right,
Bumblebee tuna.
Stand up, Tony.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow. Jeez Louise. Bumblebee tuna is certainly something that should have been said at some point, but boy, what a time. We're lucky to be here, thankful to be here. We'll be back tomorrow. Monday Night Raw tonight in Minnesota. I don't know if it's
Not Minneapolis. St. Paul.
I don't know if it's in St. Paul or Minneapolis. Which
Twin
is-
Cities.
Twin City.
In Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't want to disrespect anybody,
Yep.
Hey, Sam Darnold's throwing the ball around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so is JJ.
good.
Ooh. This goes in, we'll get 20 people $500. All right, we're out of here. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. We'll be back tomorrow. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3, team! Goodbye.